The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. I was going to say Coach is up Chuck, but he's coming down off the mountains. He'll be on tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome to the show here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Chuck Pagano normally joins us on Wednesdays. He's taking a long road off the top of the mountain. He's been skiing.
Oh, nice.
That guy's been living his best life since retirement. Him and Dean, I got a video of them shredding some purple, whatever the hell it is.
Ooh,
purple
some diamonds?
Yeah, whatever it is. I'm not in the
Wow.
ski world, but it seems like that's a great time.
Yes.
And Chuck was having a blast. He's coming off the mountain, not going to have service for today, but he will be on tomorrow. So who do we have today? Keith Crossrow.
Okay.
What?
Keith Cosrow.
No, Cosrow.
Cosrow. Go ahead.
That's what you said.
Keith Cosrow.
That's a tough one to pronounce.
He's the senior coordinating producer of NFL Films. Final episode of Hard Knocks and season premiere is tonight. Premieres tonight at 10 p.m. on HBO of the Indianapolis Colts. The in-season Hard Knocks has been spectacular.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
do I feel that because I was in that same building doing those same things basically? Quite an upgrade since I left, but it made you feel like you were a part of the team again and seeing some of the trainers and equipment managers and the chefs behind the scenes. It was really cool. I enjoyed it, but also I think there was actual storylines. Like, hey, here's a team that started 1-5. And then goes on a run and tells the story. Jonathan Taylor, MVP candidate, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Coach of the Year candidate. Ultimately, it ends up losing to Clemson this past weekend and being knocked out of the playoffs. I assume tonight's episode should be rather electric. There's going to be a lot of how did we get here, including the conversation that Frank Reich had afterwards in his wrap-up press conference where they said, is Carson Wentz quarterback next year? He said, I don't want to get into that because once to talk about one player, I got to talk about every single player. When just a year ago, he said Phillip Rivers is going to be our starting quarterback next year. Phillip Rivers is coach in high school now.
That's
Crushing
right.
it.
So maybe Frank learned his lesson from speculating on anything, but it doesn't feel as if the Carson Wentz support is as strong as it once was in Indianapolis after getting kicked out of the playoffs by the Clemson Jaguars. Barry Sanders also on today's show.
Oh, hell yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's for the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square sweepstakes.
Okay.
He was on here last year chatting for that, I believe. But we have great conversations with Barry every time he comes on. Living legend, still God if he had to.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody
Hell
knows
yeah.
Barry because he made so many incredibly sound financial decisions. He was able to retire at the peak of his game. And although he played for the Lions, which would probably make people retire early often,
Yeah, it
Makes
does
sense.
happen.
Makes sense.
he has still been nothing short of a legend. Very thankful he's joining us today. AJ Hawk will be here. But today will be remembered because today, not only with the Toxic Table at Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor, in one half of the Hammer, Dahn Cowboys. Tevin Diggs is here. But today is the day that'll be remembered because today is the day that we debut something that we created in this here office.
That's right.
And we think it's going to go on to have great success.
Oh, yeah.
Because I started rolling it out to a couple people, and there was only one thing. They say, how do we play in the same game, parlay, holiday? And they say, show us the way to the same game, parlay, holiday. It's for the wild card games. It's the same game, parlay, holiday. That's this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
So this is how it's going to work. You spend or bet $50 in same-game parlays. There's tiers. You spend $50 in same-game parlays this weekend. We will have 4 of them promoted this weekend. One from the Pat McAfee Show, one from The Pod, one from Hammered Down, and one from That's Hockey Talk. And you can create your own. If you spend $50 and bet $50 in same-game parlays, you'll get $20 back no matter if you win or lose.
Okay.
You spend $100 on same-game parlays. You put $25 on each of our same game parlays that we'll be promoting, you'll get $50 back, whether you win or you lose. And when you spend $200 on same game parlays, you'll get $100 back, win or lose. Those are the 3 tiers. If you go any higher, you will not get more than $100 back. But with these same game parlays, we'll be able to bet, get some money back, and probably hit $4 million and millions against FanDuel. And that's how you play in the same game parlay holiday. We just showed you the way of the same game parlay holiday. Let's dominate the wild card games with the same game parlay holiday. Should be a pretty cool weekend.
Yeah, looking
Very
forward to
excited.
it. Not sure it will be.
Same game parlay holiday, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bengals Raiders 4:30.
Hey, Bucks Eagles, don't you worry about it. Sunday.
Hey,
Now we go.
What?
you mentioned that game. A little birdie told me maybe check out the weather report for that one.
Well, okay. Well, hey, listen. We will have different same game parlays that will all be posted on FanDuel. You can create your own, do your own. The same game parlay is a feature on the FanDuel Sportsbook that is glorious.
Yeah, top tier.
I mean, it is awesome. It was a game changer, an innovator. Everybody else was trying to catch up, but the tech really can't because FanDuel kind of created it. So if you created it, I mean, you're probably going to know the ins and outs a little bit better. This weekend, same game parlay holiday, we'll have 4 going on. Okay, we'll have 4 promoted. Can't wait to see what you stooges at the pod.
Oh, we got a tasty one.
And then they got the big goon crew over there at the Hockey Talk. They got Rupper and Nick putting their own together. The Hammered Dahn one should be one that we all keep our eyes on because Hammered Dahn is a gambling show that's been on a heater for literally 12 months at this point. But don't sleep on me, AJ, and Foxy.
Let's go.
Don't sleep on me, AJ, and Foxy putting ours together, and you can build your own. Once again, remember, you spend $50 on these same game parlays, you're going to get $20 back. You get to $100 in bets on same game parlays, you'll get $50 back. You go up to $200, which, hey, only if you can afford to do so, you'll get $100 back on your same game parlay bets. It's the same game parlay holiday, and I want to let you know, I hope you all win.
Oh, yeah. I hope you win.
I hope you win.
Too.
Now, you guys are the first game.
Oh, I know.
You guys set the tone
Table
for this.
setter.
Yeah,
Table
you guys,
setter. Don't worry.
for the same game parlay holiday, it's right here, set by you guys.
We'll start us off hot. We already got a pretty good feel on where we're leaning to, so we feel pretty confident, Pat.
Hey, these are the things, by the way, that not being owned by FanDuel is good because they have a concept and an idea. We say, well, how about giving money back? Like, hey, you want people to do stuff. If they know that something's potentially coming back, let's go do it. They're like, all right, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. We're like, so it's 50%, you're going to give 50% of money back? Whoa.
Not exactly.
Okay, if they're betting 50, we'll give 20. They bet 100, we'll give 50. Bet 200, we'll give 100. I'm like, why can't you just give everybody $25? We're like, well, we'll get fucking broken in half.
Yeah.
Bankrupt.
I'm like, all right. Okay. All right, so what's going to go on? They're like, well, 20. Is 20 good? 20 is good. Can we call it a holiday? Sure. Is this going to happen again? We don't know. Well, if we make it a holiday, we can drop it in whenever we want.
That's right.
This holiday can happen whenever.
Yeah. That's exactly
This is
right.
just like the spread the love thing that was created. The spread the love thing was like, I think we should have team betting. I think we should have team betting. Don't you think? Like, the more people that bet in, the bigger the spread gets in. That should be good. Like, so what happens if it gets up to like plus 120 or something like that? Yeah.
We win.
The team wins. Hey, morale is good. That's the purpose of it. We were beating you. They're like, okay, let's give it a go. We did it once. Got up to like plus 80 something. And then it got to plus 120 something. Now it's rolling. We're hoping the same game parlay holiday is another thing that we can pretend. Same game parlay holiday.
What game you doing?
Me, Bucks Eagles.
Okay.
What's your fucking problem?
And this guy, I don't know.
What is this guy's deal? What is this all about? Hey, Foxy, he's coming after me, you, and AJ right now.
What's that about, Tony?
Yeah, what's that all about, Tony?
Do you want the information or do you not?
Go ahead.
75% chance of rain, 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, near a quarter to half inch of rain, gusts much higher. So,
Okay, interesting you say that. Jalen went to Alabama and Oklahoma. Tom Brady was born in the dark.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, up there in New England and
Just saying.
Foxborough. With that being said, I don't know about the rest of the team. I mean, there's a lot of...
That's slippery weather.
basically a hurricane.
Well, and Jalen, they.
I like to run the football.
All right, so we might have to take our team. Might have.
I
to
just want everyone to win, so I wanted to give you that information.
Yeah, because FanDuel has tried to prod a little bit and be like, "Oh, feels like
the over in that.
it feels like the hockey talks are probably going to hit, and everybody else is." And we're like, "Hey, we don't need you driving a wedge."
That would be awesome.
No one.
We all want to win.
We all need to
win.
win.
Awesome is you win. We all win.
Yeah.
But
Don't let them do this to you.
come
if
on,
only
Nick.
one had to win, it'd be sweet if the Hammer Dahn boys won.
Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. You two, how's your families?
Yeah.
How about all of our families? Us.
Families.
You guys are turning on me now that you know that and I'm Italian as well. This is unbelievable, you two.
How dare you.
Don't let FanDuel take us into a spot that we never wanted to go. Everybody wants to win.
We all want to win.
All the Italian you spit into that cup.
Whoa.
How dare you?
Turns out that's all you need. That's all you need for the rest of your life. Put a pinky ring on, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But this weekend should be a blast. There's a lot of NFL stuff to chat about. Let's dive into it. I think we nailed the jingle.
I think so too.
Well done.
Sounded good.
Yeah. I mean, if there was a shot of me in my bathroom this morning, I get ready to instrumentals playing, either rap instrumentals or some, like EDM stuff, some techno music, folk. There's some folk instrumentals too, depending upon what mood I'm in. This morning, I couldn't figure out how to get same game parlay holiday. They say there was a lot of words, obviously, and then this one particular beat came on. I was like, in the shower. In the same game parlay holiday. I mean, I was like screaming in my bathroom. My wife comes in like, "Oh, what? Is there a concert?" I'm like, "You just heard the creation. We got a jingle. I'm pumped for it. We got to hit those so we can continue to promote.
That's right.
Don't worry, we'll start us off hot.
Yep.
Well, I hope you guys do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
From me to you guys, I hope you guys do. I don't know what these scumbag Italians are thinking.
Forget
Okay,
about it.
I don't know. Yeah, you mostly. You assholes.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Wanted you
Forget
to
about
win.
him is right.
Yeah. Well, that's not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about is I appreciate you wanting me to win. What I'm talking about is you doubling down, retweeting what Nick said. Well, if only one's going to win, it'd be cool if it was me.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We want all of them.
We all want to
4
win.
for 4.
Well, yeah. It would. We want all of them to win, but if only one wins, then it should be.
Tony.
The gambling show?
Actually,
That'd be a shame if we won 3, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
That would be a shame.
Oh, no. Because right now everybody knows I'm ice cold. Roll motherfucking Tide, Colt.
Foxy's very hot though.
Yeah.
No. I'm
In
all
basketball.
on basketball. In football, I'm ice cold as well.
So that is the thing. I don't think this is not for all sports. They have not opened this up to all sports.
Just for wild card
This
weekend.
is like
as
a
of right now.
rollout for wild
Yeah.
card games.
This is for
football.
super wild card.
By the way, very proud of this. Very excited for this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the risk-free same-game parlay I was very excited about, too. Like, okay, people were able to do something. This is a win for you guys. Okay, we're introducing same-game parlay, but also everybody's getting their money back. So, and then once we failed for 11 straight weeks, and then
We can't do this.
we can't do this anymore.
Calling it.
I thought we were doing this all season, FanDuel. I ain't doing it.
Nah.
Okay, I can't get out here every single Friday and be like, God damn it.
Time for the boost.
Tom Brady, and then we go to it was the when we went to the Colts-Jets game.
Yes. that
And
was the last
Pittman
one.
got tackled. Shoestring tackle.
Yeah.
6 yards short.
And the Colts had just won a Thursday night football game on primetime. First Thursday night game in Indianapolis in a long time. Just beat the dog shit out of the Jets. That was back when we were thinking they were going to win a Super Bowl. Jonathan Taylor scores 2 touchdowns. I mean, he does his entire thing. We haven't, and all the way out from the Robert Mathis' suite, which was very, very nice, all the way to the car. Colts fans were not happy for us. They were not smiling. They literally, about 100 people on our way out, head down, walking. Sorry about the parlay, man.
6 more yards.
Nobody was happy. We were miserable every Thursday night.
That was the saddest 40-point win of all time. It's
crazy.
We were supposed to be happy from this thing. This risk-free same-game parlay was supposed to be joyful. Thursday night football kicking off the weekend, and what it quickly became was just a nightmare. I'd wake up Friday morning just like miserable. And it's like, oh, feel good Friday. Is it?
Nope.
Why Tom Brady take 2 fucking knees backwards and then he took 1 forward? How come that guy couldn't have done that, all 3 of them? We'd all be dancing. We had 44,000 people riding on that one. If that one hits, we're probably still doing risk-free same. We're still doing that thing forever.
We're in the game.
But we didn't even get one good shot like golf. We had zero. We had rims out every single. Never fell. Never won around and fell. This same game parlay holiday we have to hit so we continue to do it.
And we will.
Very confident.
We will.
I mean, Jamar Chase with the Jags, not to bring up the Jags, but that same game parlay, Jamar Chase was.
He caught a touchdown in every other fucking game.
Exactly.
I'm not doing it.
You saw Pittman's path to the end zone.
He was wide open.
It was right there.
Jets, dude. He had Jets.
Yeah.
Against the Jets.
Yeah.
With a runway in front of him. Literally right in front of me. And then, and it's like, this motherfucker. And then we had to wait around all the way till the end of that game. Because Carson was still going out. Because the Jets had success. And they were still sending Carson out. Still sending Pittman out. I was like, hold on. We can still get it here. All we need is one catch. Then he overthrows Pittman. Maybe that should have been the time.
That should have been when you knew.
That was probably it.
Should have knew it was Wentz's fault.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow. Things aren't good for the Wentzes right now. We'll let them live
Did you
their
see
life.
that sweet stat about the Colts today?
What's that?
That they led for more time throughout the season than the Titans and Packers did, and they're the 1 seeds in the conference.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's pretty cool.
Shut the fuck up.
It is. It's a lot of minutes.
We're not talking about the Colts anymore. We're moving on. Okay. Well, we got to talk to Keith
we're
Costner.
talking to Keith Costro. So
Only about the Colts.
We're going to be talking about the Colts a little bit more.
Connor, you did not deserve that venom
Well,
that just came.
I don't know.
Yes, you
I
did.
brought up the Jags. I mean, I kind of did.
Yeah, you've been kind of dancing on this whole thing.
Yeah.
And I saw PFT, okay, pardon my take, say, listen, we're not doing a whole debate on whether or not Georgia could beat the worst team in the NFL. And then he follows up, the Colts would beat Georgia by 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
So we got Clown Town dunking on us. We missed the playoffs. PFT, one of the world's best brains dunking on us. And once the Colts become that in his brain, I can't wait to see what he comes up with. This is not a good time to be a Colts fan, okay? So I don't need the enemy within the Hembo of ESPN,
Good
stat
stats,
fame.
good stats lately.
Great stats. This dude, hey,
All
the
against
stats
Colts.
community looked, and for Aaron. So it seems to be quite a give and take relationship I have with him. The stats community looks up to Brandon Staley as if they are their stats god. I think they all realize Hembo's at the end of your prayers.
Yeah,
that's
that's stat
community.
that.
Yeah, stat that. Hembo is stat that.
Yeah, he is.
Strange but true. The Colts, who missed the playoffs, played more minutes with a lead this season, 562 minutes. Then the Packers, 521, or the Titans, 490, the number 1 seeds. That's crazy, Hembo. So we don't need your fucking punditry. Okay, Hembo?
Yeah. Well,
That is crazy,
though.
That
It
is
is.
crazy.
That is crazy. And when they played the Titans and went to overtime, the Titans, I believe, didn't have a lead until
The last play.
the field goal. In
Yeah, let's
overtime.
go. All right, let's go to. That is tough. And we had MVP candidate, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Coach of the Year candidate.
What?
Hottest team in football.
What?
Imagine what that
Executive.
stat would have been if they didn't trail the entire game against the Jaguars.
So many more minutes. We didn't even come out and think about taking a lead. against the
No.
Jets.
First drive.
We were down 20. We were down 20 to clown time.
Yeah.
And it only got worse. And Jacksonville might win the Super Bowl next year.
Might.
We don't know.
They
With that
could.
team,
Yeah, you're right.
With that team, with that D-line,
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know.
They don't have a coach or a GM.
Well, Trevor's got
Balky.
Urban out of his blood, so he's good now.
Well, maybe.
Trevor might be a guy, by the way. I mean, there were some plays where he was making. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Has he been playing football all year? Have they not been playing him? What's been going on? I see him in a Subway commercial. I've not seen any of this all year. He's just saving it for Week 18. Way to go, Trevor. Take it into the offseason. Where was this 10 weeks ago in that entire team? Probably what Urban was thinking while he was dancing on that team.
That's right.
We got the skill. Shit.
right there.
We're living on the edge.
that
All right, let's go to
stat.
some more stats. That's
It's not that.
That
actual ones. The NFL is dunking on everybody. And when we say that, we mean that. Ari Mirov, Pro Football Focus, at My Sports Update. Per the NFL, so this is coming directly from the NFL, and numbers don't mean shit in the modern world that we're in. I actually just did an interview with Bloomberg.
Whoa. Bloomberg.
So I did not know that Bloomberg was anything other than a human. There was a human named Bloomberg.
Yeah.
I guess there's an entire network business thing.
Oh, yeah.
So somebody at Bloomberg had been reaching out to the Colts and WWE and some other people to get some quotes about me. And the people from the Colts and the WWE, who I know very tightly, like they reach out to me like, hey, you know Bloomberg's snooping around on you right now? I'm like, what is this dude? Yeah, what is this dude? Has this dude got a problem? Like, what is the thing? They're like, no, Bloomberg is a magazine, website, network, basically. I did not know that. So I did learn something. Shout out to Bloomberg. I've done some research. They do very well.
Oh, yeah.
They do very well.
Bloomberg's doing just fine.
So I actually I looked into it. I was like, oh, what are these people snooping around for? And who knows? I mean, we'll see what it is. But I talked to the person writing the article. Name was Jerry with a G.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
So I talked to him today. He had sent some requests, I think, in earlier to talk to me because when the Colts and the WWE and some other people, have you heard about this Bloomberg article? I'm like, no. I do not know anything about it, like, as we're talking about it. So both sides were like, well, that's kind of fucked up that they're actually doing this without you even knowing about it or whatever. Apparently, this guy did send like 4 or 5 emails, but I saw Bloomberg and I was like, I don't want to talk to this dude. I don't know this dude. I had no idea who it was. So I finally got a chance to chat with this guy. Good guy, super smart. Bloomberg, by the way, massive
big
network.
deal.
Big.
I guess this is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Very big.
I talked to him for like an hour and 15 minutes earlier, and we got to one particular portion of it. And I found it very comical because business revolves around numbers a lot. And I said, I don't know how to say this, but everybody's full of fucking shit with their numbers. Everybody. We live in the internet business where I have seen some companies report their numbers for who's seeing, watching, and everything like that. And it's like, well, that's a quarter of planet Earth. So whenever you just start throwing these numbers out here in an attempt to garner new ad deals or a new number or an evaluation or whatever, like if somebody who has any idea what they're doing would look at it and be like, that's impossible, the numbers that you're putting out there. Or how are you doing 7 billion people every single month? That is some of the numbers that are being reported by some companies. And it's not, I guess you can't blame them because once you see another company do it, you got to do it as well. There's little ways you can game your numbers with your content and how you release it, when you release it, how you release it, how many pieces of content do you release that are the same thing. I mean, there is just ways to game numbers. So numbers are all bullshit. And, Jerry followed up with like, well, how do you, I was like, I think influence. And that sounds like such a bullshit answer, but I think you know if somebody's real or something is real or not with the influence they have on everyday conversation. And I didn't even know Bloomberg had a fucking thing. So when I say I live in a silo, I live in a silo. But on the internet, I think it's very clear to see like, hey, who's doing shit, who isn't. Now, real world, I know they got Nielsen. How the fuck does that keep track of DVR streaming clips, anything like that? I guess it does. And the people that are in positions of power that are either making the advertising deals or they're proclaiming their numbers, they love that the Nielsen's real, I guess. But you have to think, you take a step back and go, this is all bullshit. You have to. Because I look at my Twitter thing. I'll look them up right now, what this thing says. It'll be up over 1 billion impressions or something in the last 28 days. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Is an impression mean it was on my screen or on somebody's screen at some time? And does that matter? No, you were just happened to be on a screen for half a scroll. So I think the numbers department in the world in which we live is going to continue to evolve to get more accurate because advertisers are probably getting fucked and not getting the ROI that they think they're getting at all. But whenever the NFL comes out and says, hey, this is what we're doing, I believe it because the only thing anybody talks about whenever the NFL is on is the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's just the way it goes. So what I'm saying is it is hard to believe all of these numbers ever. But when the NFL is putting out this particular number, I feel like it's probably much more accurate than some people that you've never heard of that are also projecting numbers that are absurd. For instance, the NFL, the 2021 NFL regular season averaged 17.1 million viewers. That's TV and digital, okay? What does that mean?
Right.
Nobody knows what that means, but that is a lot of motherfucking people. And I think the influence the NFL has is vast and huge. It garners every conversation. So we can say, yeah, that feels right. The highest regular season average since 2015. NFL games accounted for 91 out of the top 100 most watched telecasts on television. Throughout the season, there was 370 billion total minutes consumed. That's another stat that is awesome. That is like, how do they know that? How do they know that? Oh, I'm sure some really smart person's going to come tell me how they know that. And it might be even from a company that has a building downtown here that runs all the stats in the back end that we know people that work at. But honestly, if they would have said they were doing 20 million viewers a game, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, yeah.
15 million, yeah, that sounds right. But the fact that they're 91 out of the top 100 telecasts on television in the year 2021, they're all living by the same numbers. So they all might be bullshit or they all might be 100% accurate. But 91 out of 100 is an absolute AUTV executive.
Big time.
From the NFL. That is why the $110 billion deal they just signed is only the tip of the iceberg. Because as more streaming platforms are going to get into the NFL and into the ratings game, those numbers are banana land. And the money that is on these platforms, also banana land. So this is... I'm lucky and thankful I was a part of the NFL, that we cover the NFL, and this is absurd to think about. Every other league is looking at this tweet going, what the fuck are we going to do to try to keep up?
Well, and we kind of talked about it earlier. Like cable exists basically because of sports, and for a large amount of people, that's by way of the NFL. Like I'll never get cable, any other like TV show or anything like that. Most people are watching that on some sort of streaming service. Like if you have cable so that you can watch the NFL on Sundays or, basketball throughout the week or whatever. Like there really isn't anything anymore that people are saying like, oh, I need to get cable because of the, like they're just going to the streaming services, and cable exists because of sports and largely because of the NFL.
Who's going to come in and just make a big play? Obviously, Amazon has already done it.
Yeah.
And I got a chance. What was that? IBM, Foxy? Who was it? IBM?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Was that who it was? I was in a horse.
In Cincinnati?
Yeah.
IBM, yes.
I was in a horse shed or a horse trailer outside of the Cincinnati Bengals stadium for a Thursday night football game against the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
It was in Cincy. The only reason why I remember it was the Texans is because the only thing I did the entire game was sit in a trailer that was the size of, it might have been a donkey trailer, not even a horse trailer. It was this tiny little thing with all these cameras. It was for virtual reality. Yeah. So they were trying out and sampling virtual reality, and IBM wanted to pitch that they could be the NFL's virtual reality partner. Option. Yeah. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was the case. I'm a rather observant human being, even though people don't expect that. I try to at least see why are we here and how are we here. So the only reason why I remember it was against the Texans because as I was walking onto the field at the end, Leckler was jogging off and JJ was jogging off. And they're like, what are you doing? Are you on TV right now? I'm like, no. I was just in a trailer, actually.
Testing out the VR.
I was just in a trailer for the entire game. So there's nothing for us to do until afterwards where we gave a 2-minute recap of the shots that were seen throughout the game to pitch to the NFL, basically. I thought we were calling the game. I thought it was going to be much different. That's why I signed up for it. I was the color commentator in this thing, so I didn't even host the recap. So I literally spoke for 27 seconds. Foxy was drunk as fuck at the game with his friends. Fox.
I do remember that.
Yeah, Foxy wasn't able to come into the trailer or the area because it was so small. So Foxy was like, oh, I got some friends that are going to the game. Do you care if I just go to the game? I'm like, do what you got to do, dude. I'm in a miserable spot here. Yeah. So we see Fox. I see Foxy like 4 hours later. Yeah. He is hammered drunk, passes out in the truck on the way. I'm driving Foxy back from Cincinnati to Indianapolis. Complete waste of time. The technology was amazing, but the only cool thing I got out of that is I got a chance to sit with the guy from NFL Films who was the original producer for Steve Sable. So this guy is a part of the 33rd ownership of the NFL, which is NFL Films. And he and I, because the food that was there was terrible.
Oh, sure.
No. We actually went to the tailgate across the street, got some beers, got some food, had a full conversation. Dude, this guy is a dude. He is one of the biggest brains in the NFL. I assume we have to thank him for a lot of the things. But he was only there because the NFL Films was trying to see whether or not IBM would be the right partner or not. And it's almost like a tryout. Like, can the NFL Films and the NFL trust you with the product, with the game? And that's kind of how that whole thing goes. I don't know if IBM became the official virtual reality partner. I know there was zero chance they were ever getting me back into a fucking donkey trailer ever again, especially to speak for 27 seconds. But I thought it was a cool technology. But learning that from the NFL Films, he's like, yeah, we got to see whether or not this is something we want to continue. So like for Amazon's been in with the NFL now for like 3 years. They had the Thursday night option simulcast, and they had their own show. Now they kind of bought into it. So it's one of those things where we'll be able to see who is testing the waters and who the NFL is allowing to kind of test the waters. The NFL and NFL Films take a lot of pride in how the game is presented, how the game is broadcasted. That's why they get so mad at some people that rip clips and put them out and do it in a different way. I've been very thankful that they've kind of allowed me to do that for special teams because I think everybody at NFL Films is like, if he wants to cover punts, I mean, do we fucking care? I mean, nobody else does that. Yeah. So I think they take a lot of pride, as they should, because 91 of the top 100 telecasts are that. But I'm excited to see see who gets it. What if Netflix? Why wouldn't Netflix get in?
Apple.
Why wouldn't Apple get involved?
You would assume HBO is going to try to. I mean, they already kind of have the in with Hard Knocks, so like that kind of makes sense.
And they're kind of a staple with Real Sports, has been around a long time. So all these platforms getting in there, and I think this negotiation they had for the $110 billion, I think a lot of them are like potential
with like outs and stuff
like
that.
if we find another $10 billion somewhere, like
Right.
if we just so happen to, and Bezos comes in shirtless off his boat and says, you know what, here's $15 billion, I want to do this. Like the NFL has the ability to go do that. And as these stats continue to come out, all their other sponsors are like, how do we get in? How do we get in anything at all? So what a wild time to be an NFL owner, and the Broncos look like that's about to be an open spot.
Yeah, Broncos, who knows what's going on with the Chargers, because the Spanos family was going through All right, my reports. I'm just reading, but you wonder with places like ESPN, who have to pay like the premium price for Monday Night Football, like how long they'll be able to keep that up, especially if Bezos does come in. They're like, you know what, we'll double what ESPN's giving you, and you're just going to put Monday Night Football on Amazon.
So is ESPN getting a larger package of NFL games? I think they're investing more in the NFL than they were in college, from the last rights that I remember hearing. Not 100% sure. Should have asked Paisan the other night. No big deal. We're in Jimmy Pitar's suite right on 50. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was outrageous that we were in there. And it doesn't feel like I owe anybody anything. It almost feels like Jimmy was like, hey, sorry for all the miscommunication. Mm-hmm. All right, this is us meeting each other, having a conversation. Come by the suite. Hit me up. We appreciate what you do. Even though everybody below me in a middle management position who has done everything the exact same way for decades and has made a lot of money off it and has really zero thought of their own might not like you. I would like to let you know I appreciate you, which is very nice. Me, AJ, and Tony Diggs were not supposed to be in that suite that we were in, but I think they're getting into the NFL more. In the NFL, in their negotiations, right? Everything is valued exactly how somebody who's willing to pay values it. Mm-hmm. So everybody's overpaid, underpaid. No, you are exactly paid how you are supposed to be paid, because that is all negotiation. That is all figured out. That is something I learned a long time ago, especially when I saw some of my teammates either get in public eyes overpaid, but in the locker room, what you're not seeing behind closed doors, actually, I think he's getting underpaid. And then there's some people that get fucked. And I think to myself, like, well, you should have stood a little firmer. You should have stood a little firmer in your grounds to do whatever you are. So I think in the negotiations, the NFL actually told ESPN, this is us just watching from the outside and reading the press clippings as it'll happen. Like, without us, your entire network would be fucked.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay a little bit more. Like NBC, their entire programming, NBC Sports, doesn't revolve around NFL football.
Exactly.
So they didn't have to pay as much as ESPN did, who also uses all the clips throughout the entire week. And then there's a set amount of clips that are allowed on social. This video is allowed to air on social. This one isn't. So I think all those negotiations, the NFL has all of their lawyers sitting at a table going, you know what, actually, I mean, does Get Up exist without us? Nah. How about first? How about our league, NFL Live?
NFL Live?
Yeah.
That's what the NFL did to ESPN, and there's nothing ESPN can do about it.
No.
Disney can do about it. You just wonder, what if Amazon comes in and says, hey, we want to we would like to take the place.
Well, they're doing that for Thursday, right?
Yeah, because they had it for a little bit, and then they got it outright. And I think they got it for what, 10, 11 years?
Something like that. I think it is 10 years.
Is that public knowledge?
I just saw it right here, 11 years.
Okay, good.
Okay.
All right. We have chatted with Amazon. I have chatted with Amazon.
$1 billion per year.
I have chatted with ESPN. You know, now that people saw the FanDuel deal,
Yeah.
which isn't our only deal, that's just our exclusive sportsbook partner. I think a lot of people who potentially had no idea what we did, how we did, or why we did it, had to get kind of open, like, oh, what the fuck is going on here? Because if this is what this company is saying they're worth to them, what are all the other companies saying to them? And once again, all numbers are bullshit. So there's people in this space that are pitching numbers that are completely fugazi. And it's not our game or my game to come out and say, this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie. I hope everybody gets $1 billion. But it's tough not to sometimes when I am the person literally representing this company in conversations and there's other numbers being presented as if it's real. And it's like, that's not real.
Impossible.
And I don't want to sound like a bad person. I want everybody to get their money, but that is not real. That is a marketing agency. That is a salesperson accumulating numbers to try to throw a fastball past you because you don't know anything about this current platform that we are in right now. So that is something that's hard to do, but the NFL knows that they are just going to go like this, and that's why that franchise in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I saw Marshawn Lynch is in conversations with Amazon as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
He's
for sure.
incredible.
That would be awesome. You know, the Amazon thing's very interesting because they have Twitch, which is a daily streaming platform.
That's right.
They have the NFL rights. So would that
right.
mean that if we're on Twitch, because I've seen other shows, do you get NFL rights on there?
Feels like it.
And then obviously we're getting a plane. So Thursday Night Football throughout an entire thing is very doable. I mean, there's a lot of synergy between what we do and what Amazon does. But I ain't a fucking idiot.
Nuh-uh.
You know what I mean?
That's
I know that as well. So there's a lot of. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Me walking into these meetings. Hey, what do we got? Oh yeah, you don't have a fucking clue. Okay, cool.
So,
Hey, I'm not even going to waste any more time. And I think there's always a feel out. The Amazon folks seem to be a good group of people.
I mean, Marshawn, that's a good
Yeah,
start.
they're looking at it. And I think they got Aqib in there too. Aqib Talib's in there as well. There's a lot of people that I have respect for that have been announced as a part of the Amazon roster. And I'm like, okay, making good decisions over there. I like that a lot. But once again, we just talked to Jimmy Pitara the other night. I have a lot of respect for that guy all of a sudden when I probably, to that entire network, a lot of friends over there, a lot of very talented people over there. I mean, we just put over Hembo seconds ago.
Yeah.
That's behind the scenes. I mean, I love a lot of people over there. But a lot of the decisions that are being made over there, you go, okay, we'd probably do it different. And also, those people will never understand our type of operation. But as it grows, it feels like there's only going to be more platforms to have to chat with and see if it's the right fit or not.
look at Amazon too. Like, I think we'll see after this football season ends, they're going to be very aggressive trying to acquire talent because, you know, money doesn't really exist to them. I mean, they can pay anybody whatever they want
Plus
to.
Sunday tickets up.
Sunday tickets up. There's a good chance they're going to get that as well. You know, just thinking out loud.
Well, then also out loud, merch business, they have
Yeah, exactly.
merch business,
Shipping service, that they
marketing.
have.
Yeah, Amazon Music. And,
But once again, this ain't a guarantee.
no.
There's a lot of places.
No. There's other places that have all that stuff. Not really, but there's
Well,
other places
yeah.
that have.
To a
but they
degree,
have-
I mean.
All right, let's talk football.
Apple's going to step up somehow, and they're going to get in the game.
Well, I think what Amazon's going to do is they're going to bring in Joe Judge.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So that's good transition. That's professional transition. And then, you know, that's the type of stuff that people really don't understand whenever they do a daily show is a good transition.
Boom.
And this is one to get out of a conversation that we are, or conversations we are potentially on behind the scenes.
Sure.
Out of the actual show because I don't want to give up any leverage or any thought to anybody live into the microphone.
Makes sense.
Sun Tzu, Art of War.
Sun Tzu,
There
bingo.
it is. R.I.P. Sun
R.I.P.
Tzu.
R.I.P. Son.
Rest in
Miss you.
peace, Sun Tzu. He had a hell of an impact, though, in that life he lived.
Yes, he did.
2,000 years ago.
Anyways, Joe Judge, dead as a New York Giant.
It's unfortunate.
It is over. Dan Dugan at DDugan21.
Dukes.
What up, dude?
Dude.
See, the thing about Dudes is he dug to the bottom of this thing.
yeah.
That's right.
At one point, he was digging, then he was dugging, now he's all the way done and he's dugging. Old Dan Dugan's reporting Joe Judge has been fired as Giants coach. John Mara, I said before the season started that I wanted to feel good about the direction we were headed when we played our last game of the season. Unfortunately, I cannot make that statement, which is why we have made this decision. Now, I don't know if he felt this way immediately after the game ended, if it was immediately upon a 3rd and 9 goal line formation and backed up where you send your quarterback in for a death sentence. I don't know if it was all the fodder that happened afterwards, maybe by Aaron Rodgers saying, go ahead and call that one in, Matt. I'll smack you in the mouth, basically. I don't know if it was a joke that was made of the Giants organization, which has been something that has been happening for years. And before the season started, Mara,
Mara. Either or.
Plaza.
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 Okay, so it's a plaza for sure. I mean, I don't even know what you're
Plaza.
speaking. Yeah.
I would have said Plaza.
Plaza.
Depends on
You're
if it's depends on if it's the hotel or a place where a bunch of stores.
So
are.
if the title is something, the plaza, because they want to sound yup.
Yeah, plaza.
Okay, you call it the plaza. But a strip of stores is a plaza.
Say my last name, please.
Moraldo.
Meraldo.
Maraldo.
Morale.
Wow.
Mara. Like a plaza.
Is Mara,
Is he?
how you doing?
Is he? Like Coach Richie?
Ends in a vowel. Could be.
Mara.
Well, this particular Italian was sick of fucking talking to all the other billionaires about why his team is terrible.
Yeah.
And going into the season, he said he thought he had his Bill Belichick and Joe Judge throughout the season. He said that. Now he's entering another offseason in which his franchise is a laughingstock amongst the billionaires, and that is garnering change in New York and New Jersey. Joe Judge at Gettleman forced into retirement, whole blank slate. Goodbye, Danny Dimes. Maybe Saquon sticks around, and maybe the Giants, for the first time in 5 years, will have a winning record at some point during an NFL season.
It's not crazy to think that Rodgers was the one that spurred this, right?
I mean, we got a lot of tweets. I got a lot of tweets yesterday saying, and Max Kellerman this morning said Aaron and his friends are the reason why this whole. Shut the fuck up, Max. But they said that's the reason. You can say the show's name.
Yeah.
Okay, Max?
Come on.
Come on.
Come on, Max.
And I don't know if he was doing this. I've never met the guy. I'm sure he's great, human, whatever the kid. Well, I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm not 100%. Well, I don't know him at all. But him saying it, I think, kind of, spurred the conversation fodder. And then others started talking about it. The internet was on top of it last night. I mean, maybe Aaron, the MVP, speaking right into the camera going, this is Bush League bullshit.
Yeah.
Maybe that is exactly what Mara was thinking about the conversations he's got to have with other billionaires.
First thing I thought
What's that?
when I saw that.
Oh, yeah, you
was
did
fine.
send it in the group text immediately
Yeah,
after.
First thing I thought.
I think it was more so what you said. I think the GM went in there and was like, first of all, you got to fire that fucking guy. Whoever they were interviewing probably said, have
yeah.
you listened to his press conferences? Like the way, I think if he just shut his mouth and did like the more so we didn't coach well, we didn't play well, all that shit, instead of being like, hey, we had to get our punter warmed up, so we wanted to start with a bunch of 3 and outs.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting a punter in the flow.
Absolutely.
There ain't nothing. I mean, we shouldn't be trying to do that.
Yeah, you're trying to start the game with a 3 and out so your punter can get his legs warm?
No. He was just getting him into the flow of the game. It was whether or not he should go for it on fourth down.
Yes.
When it's a fourth and short. It wasn't he was trying to get 3 and outs. Let's not paint that narrative. Hashtag stat that.
Hashtag stat that. I mean, hey, this is a Belichick guy. I would like to see him succeed, but unfortunately, he made himself look like a clown.
What was
throughout
that?
the season.
That was a couple days ago where they said it was reported that Joe Judge will have input in the general manager search, which made all the Giants fans and the national media go, these people are a bunch of clowns. And then Maziano hit the get up and said, they're listening to Joe Judge on whether or not he thinks he'd get along with the person. He's not making the actual decision on who the GM is. And I think that actually makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And Maz also reported the GM is also going to be able to say whether or not he thinks he'd get along with Joe Judge. They're just trying to get all information. Then, just a day later, Aaron does do his thing. The ridicule continues, and he's gone. It seems to be quite an about face when publicly it didn't feel that way. I think Giants fans are ultimately happy because change brings this reinvigorated feeling of hope and optimism that the next GM and the next head coach will be able to come in and bring us back to the promised land of when Strahan and Eli and the boys were making miraculous plays. So that is where the Giants fans are now until about week 4 or 5. And the same old bullshit, our team stinks and always going to. That stinks for them. I don't like that at all.
Well, I just assume, if they really did want to fire him, why wouldn't you just do it on Monday when all those other guys get fired and Flores does too? So it's kind of like if you would have seen Joe Judge get fired on Monday, it would have been like, oh, okay, well, he fucking stunk. But they wait and they do it on Tuesday when no one else gets fired. He's the only guy that does. And then now we're all talking about it. It does seem that Mara was sitting around and saw Rodgers say, he's like, we just... You know what? Fuck this guy. Get him out of here.
Hey,
we're laughing stock.
That immunized COVID Dr. Joe Rogan friend is right.
This guy sucks.
This guy blows.
This guy stinks. How many people told Mara that this guy stinks, you think? Ooh. And this goes, and I know this is going to be quite a shot at maybe the Patriots. Joe Judge, B-Flow, Mangini, Bill O'Brien. You go down the long. Matt Patricia.
Bill O'Brien. I don't know.
Okay, you don't know where I'm headed. Long list of former Patriots coaches that go and be a head coach elsewhere, and everybody thinks they're fucking assholes. Oh. And you can be a fucking asshole if you win. When you don't win, it's hard to keep everybody rowing in the same particular fashion if their life is absolutely miserable. I feel like it's because they come from the New England Patriots, the Belichick tree, where life is not fun. Hey, you know what's fun? Winning football games. Mm-hmm. We're working hard. We're not laughing. We're not fucking around. This is the Patriot way. Everybody works in different fashions. There's obviously different ways to win, but the Patriots way is pretty well known by everybody. Hey, this might not be the most lit time. So whenever these coaches get head coaching jobs elsewhere, they feel like, okay, I've seen it win. This is how we win. This is how we're going to build our program. They probably tell the ownership that. Just like we did in New England, I'm going to build this thing around hard work, the foundation around some principles, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to coach them hard. We're going to win games. And you can do that if you're Bill Belichick because your resume says, hey, if you listen to all my bullshit and you do push-ups in pads and you run laps and I tell you at halftime that you fucking stink, I can do all this stuff because the resume says we going to be in the Super Bowl every other year for the next 20 years. That is going to be a stat. But if you go in there and you stink and you're trying to do all these things, you're going to lose a bunch of adults, grown men quickly. Yeah. That's just how it goes. You have to kind of evolve into the asshole, I think. I don't think you can just immediately drop in. And I think every single person that has come from the Bill Belichick umbrella has been treated the exact same way. This guy fucking stinks by everybody. You're not Bill. Dude, you're not Bill, is how everybody starts to react, and that's a tough thing to overcome as well.
And that's why I mentioned Bill O'Brien, because we know from the man in the arena, he's been a prick since he started coaching football. And, you know, with everything that has gone on in Houston the past year and plus, really, you know, he took the Deshaun Watson-led team to the playoffs. They were up 24-0 against the Chiefs at one point. You know, they had some success, but...
Yeah, success. I mean, B-Flo won 8 of his last 9 games, but now it's just coming out, the guy's a fucking asshole. Can't communicate with anybody. That's the reports that are happening. Yeah. I mean, now granted, they didn't make the playoffs. They won for the first time in a long time. So you would think, hey, let's keep this coach around. I'm not commenting on that or not. Should the players deal with an asshole if you're winning? Yes, I think naturally that is the case. But he couldn't communicate. Joe Judge is this asshole. Yeah. Mangini had them doing Oklahoma drills at like 6 a.m. or something like that on Wednesdays, full pads. I mean, there's just this J.J. Watt got in allegedly got into a fight with Bill. It seems to be a common. Matt Patricia did not get along with the. By the way, we get along with Matt Patricia.
Yeah, good guy.
I probably get along with all these dudes as humans. Like, we probably would enjoy how much they love football, how intense they are, how passionate they are. But whenever you're talking to a group of men, if they don't see success and you're a fucking asshole, it's going to be hard to keep them all on the same page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get to a break. We're back on the other side with some phone calls from the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Somehow AJ got one of these.
Bullshit.
He'll be back in about 12, 13 minutes. We'll have AJ Hawk here. Also, Keith Cosrow.
Here we go.
Yeah. I'll see you at the Cosrow. Is this guy going to stink?
No.
You know what will be interesting is the in-season Hard Knocks going to die now that the Colts just absolutely melted down the stretch and teams aren't going to want to do it anymore?
Oh, you're talking about having the film crew in our building that was in the Indianapolis Colts whenever they had an MVP candidate, a defense player of the year candidate, a coach of the year candidate, and then they lost to Clonton and they're not in the playoffs?
Yeah.
We'll pass.
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah,
You think that's what people are going to do?
It's possible.
Because Carl was, turn off the lights. That's what Carl was doing.
We're back and forth. See you then. This is the Pat McAfee Show. What happened?
What's up? So what did he
What?
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What?
Serious? What is this?
What just? Oh, hey, you got one of these?
Holy shit!
Wow.
What the?
What is that? I ain't one of these.
What? This is
I ain't one of these.
this is Baby Belt 2.0. This is better than yours.
Whoa. No, that ain't. Look. Hey, look at mine, AJ. Huh? That is this one. You got that little baby version. Look at that. You got a little baby Jesus title.
No. Oh, no. This has been my bracelet I've been wearing around the house lately.
Yeah, see, this ain't fitting around anybody.
No way.
Don't you worry about that. This is a thigh wrap. You know what are you doing?
Look, see, it's perfect. Right behind my wrist.
That's good.
I want to tell you a story. A story about a young man who once had a gambling problem, perhaps, before all these FanDuel sports books. The greatest app, the greatest place to gamble existed. There were bookies, there were illegal gambling rings. And one time, yes, I was a part of one. And I could not pay my bill, per se. I broke my legs. But now, because of FanDuel Sportsbook, They saved my life. That's why I will always gamble with the #1 sportsbook in America, FanDuel Sportsbook.
Hey, because you won the MVP, I think it's time.
I got my guitar back.
Hell yeah.
Was it in quarantine? Did it get COVID? Is it vaccinated or no? The guitar.
Is that Garth?
Laid it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie hair. I was the last one to show, and the last one to go, the last one you thought you'd see there. I had a surprise, a tear in my eye, of champagne, and I'll be as high as an ivory tower, 'cause you'll never hear me complain, 'cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. Guess what? I'll be okay. What a show. Wow. Hell yeah. Woo. That's the show. All right, actually, we got to wrap up this hour. Let's get to a break. I don't know what song's going to be playing right now, but it ain't us playing Garth with Aaron playing the guitar. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. If you're watching along at YouTube, we showed a little bit of Bernard's story potential during the break. Great work, Eric.
That a baby con man.
Sad story. Hey, proud of you. It is. Make sure you all remember that when you're gambling with FanDuel, regulators are watching. They're monitoring you and protecting you from you. So if you ever have any fears about getting into the sports gambling because of any rumors or past incidents you have heard about, know that it is a much different ball game whenever the government regulators are involved. And always remember, you should not be gambling enough to change your tax bracket.
Yes.
Up or down. Just make the games a little bit better, get some more money in the pocket, and go ahead and take every fucking dollar of the FanDuel.
Here we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Welcome back to the show as we wrap up hour one here before AJ Hawk joins us and Keith Cosrow.
Hell yeah.
Keith Cosrow is the senior coordinating producer. What does that mean? Who is that?
He coordinates a lot. I saw on his resume he was doing a lot for like the NFL's All 100 team, the decade team and stuff like that. Yeah.
Guys worked at NFL Films for 25 years.
Oh, he probably knows the dude that I was sitting in that donkey trailer with.
He probably does.
He was a good guy. Me and that guy went and got beers and food with the Cincinnati Bengals Who Day tailgate. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet.
All
He probably
time
knows the code to the vault with all the unseen, unheard.
And also we'll ask him like, hey, excuse me. I know people are paying a lot of money for rights to the thing, but we're just this little YouTube show. We were wondering if we could potentially get some.
Send a couple clips.
Just like, a couple. Hey, we just want a minute and a half of clips a week.
Yeah, maybe like the 10 best touchdowns.
10
from the
best
week.
touchdowns, maybe the 4 best punts and kicks.
Yeah.
It's easy.
And then we have an entire boom! Look at him go!
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we had highlight. And who knows if we ever will get NFL rights. I have started those conversations from other places as well. It's actually been a fun road to kind of, and a puzzle to piece together here. It's been fun. Once you kind of start doing it all yourself, as opposed to hearing what other people think and how it should go and waiting your turn because you're always in line with something. Now just, hey, if you want to talk, I'll do this whole thing. Piecing it together. Whenever I watch ESPN in the morning and they're just yelling at each other, I always wonder, like, they have rights.
Show the highlights, show the highlights, show the highlights.
Run some clips, or at least have it back up your point.
Yeah.
But that would probably take a lot of pre-production and focus.
Well, they do that too.
I don't
though.
know if we want that.
No,
that'd be too much pressure.
But then how would we argue 2017 Warriors versus 1996 Bulls?
That's true.
Good question. There's no debate.
Well, it's two different sports.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah.
On a Wednesday of Wild Card Weekend.
Anyways, all that is hopefully
sure,
happening.
baby.
It would be cool to get rights on this show.
Yeah, or even audio. Like, hey, Keith, what the hell happened with Antonio Brown? We know that you heard it on the sidelines. Tell us what he said.
Yeah, we should ask about that.
Yeah.
There's a couple other situations in recent memory that we'd like to know the answers to as well. Will you guys ever delve into that, or he'll probably tell us not everything is mic'd up?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
you got those
Keith.
things that can pick up sound from 2 miles away. Give me a break.
I can't speak on that because that's on my department. Classic.
Yeah.
Really be a classic
Right.
shuffle.
Anything last year with no fans in the stands, they heard every single thing.
This guy's been at NFL Films for 25 years.
Yeah.
Time.
How is he a senior coordinating producer? I've never heard this title. What is that title? That's probably first question.
He's getting shit done.
Yeah.
And he'll lay out exactly what he does to make sure that Hard Knocks goes up on HBO Max every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern
Is
time.
this guy working harder than Boomer?
Oh, no.
No.
Is that Jesus Christ
That's
coming
not-
on the show? Because that's the
How
only
hard
guy.
did Jesus
maybe.
work? He did a
Santa
lot of
Claus.
talking.
True.
No, listen, I'm not diving into it.
A lot of
I
water into
understand
wine.
you.
Yeah, a lot of miracles.
A lot of bread just popping up out of no. Hey, you guys are hungry? Boom.
Carbs and booze. I know
No, you're
things
not.
are happening quick
Want
for
some
him.
fish?
I don't know if he's putting in the amount of time that Boomer Esiason's putting in.
No way.
Santa's probably the only one to compete.
God.
Well, Santa.
Santa only works one day a year. Tony.
You don't get it.
God.
Oh my God!
Foxy.
This dude is a hey overnight sensation.
Jesus.
When
Yeah.
somebody worked
Foxy.
for 364
Get it
days.
Boomer is
Yeah.
actually the one that told me that.
Yeah, and also-
Santa works one day a
That
year.
makes sense that he would
Well,
say
Boomer,
that.
that does make sense. That is Boomer's angle.
I mean, the elves do a lot of work. We can't be ruling that out when it comes to old
Yeah,
Santa
So
but-
Claus,
delegation
okay?
of work is nothing. That is not a
Like
problem.
Kids, he's got to check a list for a lot of kids.
Yeah,
Twice.
maintenance,
Twice,
bro.
actually.
Still no
Very
Boomer.
nice.
A lot of paperwork.
He ain't Boomer.
Naughty. Veronica. Very nice. It's Tim Allen.
Yeah. Classic.
He's walking down the street.
Yeah.
He's got those boots on. Those LL Beans.
Yep.
Duck boots.
Oh, they're the best. I didn't know they existed till Santa Claus. Then they immediately became a dream for winter. Hey, I need some of those Santa Claus boots.
Get them now.
They fit perfectly too with the costume.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
they?
Oh, yeah.
It was
comfy.
Like, it was the perfect boot almost for a costume.
Like the New Balance of boots.
Did you guys watch Santa Claus this past holiday?
10 times.
No.
I did.
What?
I don't know if I
No,
watched
you know what? I actually kind of
Jesus.
boycotted it because it was on the 25 Days of Christmas 400 times every year. I was like, you know what? Stop shoving it down my fucking throat, okay? I'll find
that's
it
a
and
Christmas
watch
story.
it.
That's the
then-
one that gets shoved down your throat.
See, I wasn't on TNT, so I didn't get the 24 hours of the Christmas of TBS.
Hey, we
or,
need
you know.
we need a movie lineup and stuff around the same game parlay holiday too. So like when it comes up, people know like that people should be watching stuff right
Face
now.
off.
Yeah.
The replacements.
Oh, sudden death.
Oh, yeah.
I would confuse face off with sudden death.
Yeah, we're not just going Pittsburgh movies.
Sudden Death's awesome though.
Sudden Death is the Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
he
ends
would.
up playing fucking
It's in
goalie
Pittsburgh.
for the Pens. Yeah, shot on location
Face
in
off is not.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we had friends that were extras in that.
I bet.
I remember, hey, you want to go get $20 an hour? What are they going to do? Just stand there. Yeah, man, that was a big time racket. In
They're
Pittsburgh.
blowing up Civic Arena.
Yeah, just like whenever Bain came into Pittsburgh and blew up the stadium, there's a lot of people, hey, you got to make $20 an hour. Come on, they're only giving it out for a day or two.
Thank you, Seven.
Go stand in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Heinz
Sam.
Ward outran it.
Yeah, he
People
did.
forget.
He's
He
moving.
did.
The mayor kicked the ball off.
Maybe that's, what is the movie of
Steelers stuff?
Same Game Parlay Holiday? We'll get with that on a second.
Yeah.
I mean, the title is The Next 3 Days, and that is in Pittsburgh.
It is. Tom Cruise, great movie.
Nah,
Russell
These
Crowe.
that's
movies all
Russell Crowe,
stink,
my
dude.
The
friend.
next 3
I don't know if
days?
this is what Same Game Parlay Holiday should be
We'll
associated
start
with.
thinking. We'll
I was
think
thinking
of
about
a
Jack
good
Reacher.
one.
Well, like
that applies.
Rounders.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, yeah.
Rounders?
Yeah,
gambling
dude.
movie.
That's not a football movie, dude.
How about 21, the movie 21? Kevin
21.
Spacey?
Boom.
Classic.
That's not
Playing
a
Too
football.
Ben
sweet.
Campbell.
Too sweet.
That's not a football movie.
Well, it's not a football movie,
It's all
but
we're
it's like
talking
we're talking about.
Making money.
They
about
say,
any-
"How we play in the same game parlay holiday, and let us show you the way of the same game parlay holiday." It's for the wild card games.
That's right.
It's the same game parlay holiday. Used to hashtag PMS Same Game Parlay Holiday. Let us know what movies you'll be watching or what shows you'll be watching leading into this weekend when we try to take every single dollar from FanDuel.
Oh, yeah.
We're back in 1 minute with AJ Hawk and the boys. I got to go piss. We'll see you then.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show here on this beautiful Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. AJ Hawk will be joining us momentarily. Let's have a day.
Here we go.
Didn't get to any phone calls in the first hour. I do apologize. We had to talk about Jesus' work ethic and other things like that.
Have to.
We announced the Same Game Parlay Holiday officially for this weekend for the wild card games. You bet $50, you get $20 back regardless of whether or not you hit on a Same Game Parlay. You bet $100 on Same Game Parlays, you'll get $50 back regardless if any of them hit. You bet $200, you get $100 back whether or not they hit. Anything more, you only get $100. Anything in between, those are the tiers.
All right,
Those
okay.
are the tiers. So it's not like 120, you get 60. It's
No.
not that. It's 100, you get 50, 200 and more, you get 100 back. You bet 50, you get $20 back.
There we go. Pretty simple.
Joining us now is a man who I am a tag team partner with alongside Evan Fox in predicting our Same Game Parlay this weekend that'll be featured on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Also, the Pod will have one, Hammer Dahn will have one, and the Goons and Stooges from That's Hockey Talk will also have one. You can create your own, do your thing. It's the Same Game Parlay Holiday. Joining us now, AJ Hawk. Attaboy.
AJ.
What's up, dude?
What's happening, guys?
Just living out here, man. I'm excited for our. Did you hear what Ton Diggs said earlier about the game that we are doing our Same Game Parlay on? 20 to 30 mile an hour winds, rain, cold in Philadelphia.
Not cold. It's in Tampa.
Oh, it's in Tampa. Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. We're good.
Hurricane weather.
Hurricane weather, Pat.
We're good.
Is it really hurricane weather?
Nah, it's quarter inch to half inch of rain and 20, 30 mile an hour winds with gusts of higher.
Lenny
Why did I
Fournette.
think it was in Philly?
I looked up Brady in rain games. He's never QBR rating under 50, so you're good.
Lenny Fournette's back.
QBR of 4.4.
I mean, are you guys God? Do we know for sure this is what
So at
the
least
weather's
you
going
won't
to
get
be?
that.
Joe Nario isn't here, but everybody on the internet we're trying because Joe knows. Anyways, are you still locked in on the game that we're picking there, or do you want to move to another game?
No, I'm still locked in on this one.
No one's on Cards Rams, I don't think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could just move to Cards Rams, but it's Monday.
You don't want that.
Let's group that one. Let's all do that one together.
Gumpy, you look awesome right now.
Thank you.
You look fucking awesome.
Thank
right
you.
now. No problem. Can we get a zoom in on Gump real quick, please?
Doesn't zoom.
Look at how cool he looks.
Damn.
My
Holy
reading
shit.
glasses.
All right, so we will put a Same Game Parlay together for the Monday night game. After we go 4 for 4 in the weekend, start off with the Pod Boys doing this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
AJ, let's talk about some NFL news that is happening. The Chicago Bears coaching search is up to about 400 people. The general manager one as well. Bill Polian has been brought in to help. What does that mean? You know, what does that mean? I was drafted by Bill Polian's crew. Bill Polian was the GM when I was at Indianapolis. I understood he built up the Colts, the Panthers, and the Bills. Absolute Hall of Fame legend of a man. He's been on this show and has been great. Does he know the modern football world, though, you think? I don't. Is it just getting somebody else in the room that has had success? I guess that's a good thing, but it's fascinating to see who's going to hire who, AJ. And Chicago is heated up. They got a lot of names on their board. No, Zito's graphic, please. please. I mean, Zito.
Or the hell's my graphic?
Yeah, Zito made a graphic.
God damn it!
Only for the Bears, you made?
Only.
Yes,
Only for the Bears, yeah. This is the Bears head coaching search. Zito spent 4 hours this morning putting this thing together because he is so worried about the future. AJ, how would you go about picking and finding, and how do you know who's telling you the truth and who isn't full of shit?
I mean, I guess you got to check the references. That's the biggest thing. I would talk to people and get, like, I want people on both sides that agree with this guy, that disagree with him, that have had issues with him, guys that maybe have been around him their whole life. Yeah, you got to talk to everybody, I think.
Who
It's
do you
just
like, though?
Amazon. I look at reviews to see what's good.
Yeah, reviews are always something you should check out depending upon where you're shopping or viewing things at. This list is probably going to be a pretty similar list everywhere, though, huh?
Yes. Yep.
This is the group of people this year that are up for the current 7 head coaching jobs are open, I believe.
6 in the Raiders. I think they're including the Raiders in that 7 because it's only 6 head coaches.
And then 3 GM spots, right?
Yes.
Minnesota, New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
So there's 3 GM spots, 7 coaching spots if you don't count Richie Bisaccia. They might go on a run. Who knows? It is a wild time. It's exciting to see which names are on what list, though, because now you're getting to see who thinks who should finally get a job at the top of this whole thing.
Yeah, all those names are probably going to be similar between all the teams, except for the Bears will probably have, like, Vince Lombardi on it and stuff like that, since Polian's.
What?
Well, that is what I was referring to earlier.
Bear Bryant.
Bill Polian has done a lot for the game. He's great. He's a Hall of Famer. I'm
Good
lucky.
brain.
He's a great brain. Great. But the modern NFL, I mean, does he know any of these?
Where's
guys?
Jim Caldwell?
I saw
That's what I'm saying. Jim Caldwell, Bill Polian's from that.
Ty, I bet you saw it. Ty, do you see that the Bears, I guess they want to interview Elliott Wolf for the GM job. He was in Green Bay for a while, wanted to be the GM, then was out of there. Now he's in New England. I think he's young. Elliott might be a year or two older than me. Like
Don't take the
he knows the current game.
Well, and also if you look at like Cleveland, Andrew Barry, who's like our age, is hiring GM. We are getting to the age where our friends and our peers are going to be in positions of power in the biggest league on earth. Speaking of positions of power in the biggest league on earth, I just learned that this was a title at the beginning of the show when I read it aloud. Senior coordinating producer of NFL films, the man who is responsible, I believe, for this year's Hard Knocks in season, which the final episode is tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern on HBO Max. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Coswell. Yeah! Hey, baby, Keith!
Thanks for having me, guys. The first thing I would say is I would not say I'm responsible for this show. We have to make Hard Knocks as a cast of dozens, sometimes hundreds. To get that show on the air, turned around every week is something we're really proud of.
Hey, great leadership qualities out of you, Keith. I appreciate that. Yeah. Deflecting any responsibility to everybody else and acknowledging everybody else's skill. And this show would not happen with all you boys out here.
Thank you,
all
Pat.
you boys out here and AJ over there. I appreciate what you just did there, Keith. Can we dive into your role in this whole thing? So I'd never heard the title Senior Coordinating Producer. Is that because of what you just said with 15 and hundreds of people? It's just kind of your job to oversee and make sure everything kind of gets put into place. What is that title? I've never heard it before.
Not even real. I just made it up. So we got layers and layers of people here at NFL Films, like everywhere else. So I guess what you would equate me to on this show on Hard Knocks, I'm the showrunner. So I do coordinate everything. I kind of set the creative direction with our team of producers and directors in the field. I share these duties with the guy who's been the czar of Hard Knocks for forever. Ken Rogers jumped in halfway through here and helped out. But we've got, not to bore you with the details, but it really is to get Hard Knocks on the air. It's a Herculean task every week. We shoot hundreds of hours of footage every week with the Colts. Make 1 hour of television, and as you guys know, it's a lot.
Hey, how is it filming, like when you guys are doing Hard Knocks and you are embedding yourself with these teams, like the people that are running the cameras, the producers, everyone on site, how unique of an experience is it for them compared to stuff they're used to shooting? Like football coaches, especially in season or during training camp, they can be a bit surly if you're trying to ask them to come in and, hey, we just need 5 minutes, coach. Like I know a lot of guys that didn't even want to say hello to me, so I can't imagine what they're dealing with there.
Well, with Hard Knocks, it's almost an entity unto itself, Like, we have to, everybody in the organization knows before it starts that this is happening and that it's going to be something that's part of their lives for this stretch. It's always, in training camp, it was always one thing. To do it in season is a completely different animal. We learned a lot doing All or Nothing with Amazon for 5 seasons. And I don't think we could have done this with the Colts had we not learned what we learned over those several years, starting with the Cardinals, the year they went to the championship game under BA. And we did that for 5 years. And then what got us off to a great start this year, in regard to what you're talking about, is that we were there the whole season. You know, we had a small crew. Our directors were there on the ground from week 1, just 1 or 2 days a week. And we had the cameras, the robotic unmanned cameras in their meeting rooms the whole season, just kind of getting them used to it. And we were capturing some background material, doing off-field shoots with the players and coaches, getting to know them, so that by the time we hit the ground running on November 17th in that first episode, the team was already used to us. And they understood, you know, there's going to be 3 or 4 guys at every practice who are wearing a mic. There's going to be multiple people at every game that are mic'd up. The cameras are going to be in every meeting room, rolling all the time, all day. And I think that's part of what I think made this so natural and seamless from the word go with the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, they started 1-5, so probably took a little bit to get used to. Sounds like, Keith.
Sorry about that. When we talked to HBO this summer, and we were trying to, you know, sell this to them, like, all right, hey, let's make our own Marvel Cinematic Universe here. Let's do the Hard Knocks Cinematic Universe. It's time to expand the brand. And they were excited about it, and they said, so are the Colts going to be any good? And we said, well, here's the deal. They've got the hardest first 5 games of anybody in the NFL, and we're going to be really, really happy if they're 2-3. But likely they're 1-4, and hopefully not 0-5. But we think by the time we hit the air, if we start, they have these 2 games. They have a Thursday nighter against the Jets, and then they got to get against the Jags. And if we come into this hot, they could be 5 when we start. And it worked out that way.
So I know you're probably making a lot of money over there at NFL Films, but if you're projecting how seasons are going to go for people, you should get into gambling. We would like your thoughts, Keith, before seasons on everybody for over-unders and totals and stuff.
That was my only correct prognostication in 25.
So how come HBO gets it and not Amazon? Is that just a matter of preference? Is that HBO said yes, Amazon didn't want to do it anymore? Because now with all the team social departments trying to do their own behind the scenes clips. I remember Hard Knocks Look at Training Camp was the first time for everybody to kind of see what training camp in the NFL was like if you hadn't been able to go as a fan, let alone behind the scenes. Now with social media, now with everybody having a content creation team, it feels like that content is available more often. Now, NFL Films takes shit to a completely different level. You just said you pitched it to HBO for an in-season Hard Knocks, and you said you couldn't have done it without the Amazon ones. How come it transitioned, Bear? Are you guys just trying to be good partners with HBO? And what does the future look like for in-season Hard Knocks, you think?
Well, we talked to everybody, and Amazon, great partner. We love doing all with them, and it could come back in the future. They've expanded it to other sports. But doing it in season and doing it in real time is something that we all believed was sort of the next step after those 5 seasons of All or Nothing that aired after the season. And HBO is Hard Knocks is known not only for its access, but for being in real time. So we all felt that HBO was really a natural fit. And also that the Hard Knocks, Hard Knocks is special. We've been doing it for 20 years, and the opportunity to kind of grow it and take it in this new direction was something that we were really excited about. And HBO, man, they're the best to work with. They're an amazing partner. We do shows for everybody. We love everybody.
Yeah.
But partnership with HBO for 40 years now, going back to the start of Inside the NFL. And through all these years of Hard Knocks and I just finished a special on Terry Bradshaw that's going to be on HBO in February. And it's just really special to work with HBO.
Okay, so you've been around the NFL a long time, obviously at NFL Films, and congrats on getting into real-time idea executed. The execution is everything. Everybody has ideas. Everybody thinks things are good ideas. The execution of it is something that the NFL Films have been able to do since the beginning of the league, basically. 33rd owner, very talented group of people over there. Nothing but respect. But you've been there for 25 years, if our research is right. Is that accurate?
That's right. Just finishing up my 25th season. Got here right out of college, 1997.
Okay, Keith, we appreciate your service to the NFL, first of all. Legit, actual. That's not bullshit. As somebody who enjoys NFL content, but you guys have to be seeing the same numbers that everybody else is seeing. The NFL, 91 out of the top 100 telecasts in the year 2021. The average viewers, allegedly, all these numbers are bullshit these days, but 17.1 million viewers on TV and digital. How much of that resonates with you guys in the NFL film saying, hey, everybody loves the NFL, it seems like. There's one common theme. We crush ratings. We crush everything. How do you not overexpose it? How do you do it in the right way? How do you continue to build the game as one of the partners, basically, of the NFL at NFL Films?
Well, we've noticed ever since they elevated my title to senior coordinating producer, just gone up and up.
Just all the way up. Hey, it's good leverage, by the way. Tell him to give you a raise over there. Roger Goodell. This guy's the money mover here.
It is it's an amazing machine to be part of, the NFL. It really is. And I know we all like to critique the NFL. It's an easy target. Being on the inside of it, working with, NFL Films, we're down here in an outpost in South Jersey, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, outside of basically a suburb of Philly. Oh. And we've got the league office on Park Avenue. We've got NFL media out in LA by the new stadium. But to work with all these people and to see how many brilliant and talented people make up those offices and put these events together, and I don't think it's an accident that the NFL sees the success it succeeds. The product continues to evolve every year. When you compare it to like baseball, which fights every rule change, the NFL changing its rules every single year, right? Constantly, and sometimes we like it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes they try something like replay on pass interference, right? Didn't work, scrap it. Let's
it would have worked, Keith. I need you in there battling for that, by the way. It was the execution. The idea was a good one. The execution was poor, Keith. Those are 45-yard penalties.
Joe Judge said about the sneak, too.
But I think it could have worked, too, personally.
Thank you, Keith. 25 years.
But the reality is that I think an evolving game, and you've seen in the last 10 years the way the game has changed since the emphasis on health and safety really took form. The game's only gotten more exciting. I mean, as much as we missed the big hits over the middle, the game's been great. What we saw Sunday with those 3 overtime games, it was unbelievable. My heart was breaking for the Colts, but it set up a 1 o'clock overtime game, a 4 o'clock overtime game, 8 o'clock overtime game, each of which had a team clinch a playoff berth, which is pretty unbelievable.
Hard Knocks is in a building one time, they don't make the playoffs. I'm not fucking saying you actually feel bad or not, but go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry, he's got a question, Keith. Don't worry about it. Go ahead,
Keith,
AJ.
so what's the plan moving forward for you guys? Could you see like a possibility of multiple teams a year having like a Hard Knocks crew follow them around?
AJ, how much money do you have? Because we're going to need a lot to do that.
Oh, no. Put that stat back up. You guys got all the money. You guys got, look at this, 370 billion total minutes consumed. Sports books getting involved. Hey, Keith, you don't need our money. I mean, AJ's got a lot of money.
Most owners, though, I feel like most owners want the publicity. They want those cameras there.
Well, so what did you guys, I'm curious to hear your point of view, because I've heard you talk about the show a couple times, and I think it was kind of it flew under the radar here, the Colts show, as it started. People weren't quite sure. People didn't know about it at first. Gathered a little steam. The Colts got hot. But our view, and I think the Colts' view, is that it was really neat to see under the hood during a season and get to know these guys, the players like Kenny Moore II and Darius Leonard and DeForest Buckner, who are not only great players, but they're really great people. I mean, we saw, and when I get asked about the NFL and the players, I always tell the people in my life, like, man, we see the headlines about the occasional knucklehead, but this league is made up of brilliant, hardworking people. You don't get to this place unless you're pretty special. And so I think putting this Hard Knocks on the air in season gave people a look at these players and coaches working as hard as they do in a way that we've never seen before. And I mean, our hope is, and our plan is to do this show for the next 20 years, just like we have the training camp Hard Knocks. And the training camp Hard Knocks will certainly continue, and it's going to be great. But we think we've found a companion piece here that hopefully is something that everybody in the league is going to be excited to be part of. And we know doubters and teams that don't want to be part of it, but our goal is for every team to participate in a show like this.
Yeah, I think it obviously helped out Indianapolis, too. I don't want to say small market, but there's not a lot of ESPN coverage or Fox coverage or CBS or NBC coverage of the Indianapolis Colts as opposed to the other larger market teams. So if you're the Indianapolis Colts, this is a home run. And the fact that Frank Reich bought in, it sounded like, and Chris Ballard bought in, although it seemed like he edited himself out of a lot of videos. I mean, I don't know if that's the case or not. I'll let the creative stuff remain behind the scenes. How come we didn't get more Jim Irsay? Keith? What I mean,
I thought we got a nice dose of Irsay, don't you? The bye-week episode we had Mr. Irsay singing "Knocking on Heaven's Door." You can't beat that.
Yeah, that was sweet. That should have been the open every week.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Keith.
The open of the first episode was "We Will Rock You" in the locker room. Jim Irsay. And you'll see him a little bit tonight. Woo! We got in his suite the last couple games and got a sense of him. And actually tonight's episode starts. He kind of sets the table for what's at stake for the Colts as they entered that week against Jacksonville, and he really laid out what the measure of success is in Indianapolis. And we all know how that week turned out for them, but I think it'll be very interesting for the world to hear the way he set the table.
How much after the game are you covering? Are you covering Frank Reich's press conference where he said that he's not going to dive into Carson Wentz and everybody else and then the fallout from that, or is it just immediately after the game?
No, we covered all day Monday. We continue to shoot the robotic cameras. We shot his final meeting with the team and speech. So I think you'll see after the game, there's another 10 minutes that is, I think, extraordinarily powerful and representative of the love that we saw in that building throughout the whole season, even when it just went horribly wrong at the end for them.
Lost the clown town. Was there any reference to that there was clowns in the stands, in actual clown town flying overhead? Was that referenced at all in Hard Knocks?
No clown show in Jacksonville on Hard Knocks. Hard to draw attention to that when they were kicking the crap out of the Colts.
Well, that's what made it even.
Yeah.
Keith, a little aggressive. I mean, he's right.
Hey, I don't mean to say that like pejoratively about the Colts. They were great. I'm not trying to knock the Colts at all.
What's the word you use there? I'm going to add that one to my.
There are words for you, Pat.
Pejoratively?
I'm not trying to say anything negative about the Colts. They were phenomenal. Pejorative. But boy, when you watch this
Pejorative?
Game,
what? Pejorative. Yeah. What a word, dude. That's 25 years in the fucking TV biz, dude. Wow. Yeah. Pejorative.
5 syllables. You didn't get any other 5-syllable words in the show today, I bet.
No,
but
we have a song.
Yeah, we have a song. A jingle has a lot of syllables in it.
But when you watch this game in this episode, it's like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
Oh. Hey, when that dragon comes in,
everyone dies.
It was real red and orange. Yeah, it was crazy. Go ahead, Todd.
Keith, we know with the preseason Hard Knocks during training camp that there's like the limitations on can't have a new head coach, can't be a team that went to the playoffs last year. How'd you guys end up landing on the Colts? Like, were there any things the NFL said, hey, can't be a team that has done either this, or this? And how are you guys going to choose that going forward, you think?
That's a great question. This happened because the Colts, we have a director. His name's Cortland Bragg. He was one of the 4 directors out on the show. And he did a piece with Frank Reich last year about his foundation, Not Today. And he met Frank and Linda and befriended them. And they developed a relationship, and Frank really trusts Court. And that's sort of where it started. And then our senior executive at NFL Films, Ross Kedover, started a conversation with Carly Irsay, and it evolved over the course of 12, 18 months. And we knew we wanted to go this direction, that the next time we embedded with a team for an entire season, we wanted it to unfold in real time. on whatever platform it landed. And the Colts, to their credit, they took this leap with us, a leap that nobody had been willing to make in 20 years, no matter how many people asked for it. And they were forward thinking and progressive, and they opened the doors. And what you saw in this show, I know everybody likes to think that the team edits everything out and they've got total control of it. You saw the real thing here. I mean, this was not, they didn't go in every week and take out 10 minutes of stuff.
I have a couple questions. I don't want to be pejorative here, but how about when it was obvious they should have gave the ball to Jonathan Taylor against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you guys have the voiceover artist go, you don't need the running back whenever they have the greatest run defense in the NFL and Carson has a hot hand. That seemed to be narrative building. Was it not? That you don't think that was the case?
Oh, did we not show Quentin Nelson walk up to Frank and say, let's run the ball right now? We gotta run the ball if we're gonna win this thing.
Oh, so you said Keith. Okay,
Senior.
That's on me. That's senior coordinator and producer right there. That's senior level stuff.
You gotta let the players and coaches, and what you saw from this team is 100% authentic to who they are and to the relationships inside that building. In all the years doing this, we've never been more blown away and sort of emotionally invested ourselves in watching a team succeed and to see the way they got hot. And for a minute, when they won that Christmas night game in Arizona, my goodness, we were high-fiving. We were so happy for them, knowing how hard they'd fought to dig out of that 1-4 hole. So to see these last 2 weeks unfold the way they did, the thing is, and you'll hear Liev Schreiber in the voiceover tonight say at the end of the Jags game, it's impossible to understand what happened to them Sunday. There's nothing we saw last week that would indicate they were about to get ambushed in Jacksonville. Nothing.
And that's the thing. Anytime you talk to like a coach that used to coach in the NFL or a player in the NFL, it's like, how come teams show up some weeks and they don't? Chuck Pagano has told us there's been like the greatest week of practice, greatest warm-up, and then for whatever reason, the game is just a nightmare. Then there's been some terrible weeks, terrible warm-up, bad first quarter, and somehow the team comes back and wins. That's why the NFL is beautiful. And I can't thank you enough for giving everybody an inside look on what the ebbs and flows of a season look like. It sounds like you're a little bummed. You bummed the season's over and would you have gone into the playoffs with them if they would have made?
We were going all the way. As far as they went, the show, HBO was on board.
Son of a bitch!
That's exactly what I said when Taylor got stuffed on fourth down.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, it would not. No, we were going.
You're the most pejorative person I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay, I just want to let you know, backhanded pejoratives all over this conversation about this Indianapolis Colts squad.
I did use it correctly, right? I put that definition back up there.
Yeah.
I think I right, fellas.
Yeah, disapproval.
he was.
Negativity.
Yeah, and I use it properly too. How about that? I just learned of it. It's a big time word. I'm going to use it a lot now, and I will give you credit. This is from the Costro. See you in the Costro. Oh, hey. Go ahead, Tone.
Speaking of Liev Schreiber, how did you know that he was going to be the greatest voiceover artist of all time when you guys started Hard Knocks?
Oh, how great. Right? Oh, my goodness. So by that point, when he took over for Hard Knocks in 2007, I think, he had become HBO's voiceover guy. They had started the show 24/7 with boxing and then with hockey. And then we rebooted Hard Knocks in 2007 with the Chiefs. That's the first year I really got involved with it. And we knew, Liev is, look, this is where John Facenda came from. And so we know what the standard for narrators are in sports television. And we are constantly looking for the next great narrator, and they come in all different voices. And one of the cool things nowadays is it's not always, the deep baritone voice, middle-aged white guy anymore that I think it was for decades. But Liev is so good. He's a classically trained actor. He's one of the best actors of our generation. And he hits every note. And he hits, like on every read, he gets it right on the very first read of every line. He's incredible. And the funny thing is he views he views his voiceover as a character that he plays. So sometimes he'll call him the guy. So sometimes we'll write a line and he'll say, the guy would never say this. Yeah, he's opinionated. He's a brilliant guy. So he's a really interesting guy to work with. And he's sort of got a character that he gets into to do this voiceover work. And there's nobody like him. And it's really fun to be in that writer's room every week. That's what we like to say, that the few of us that are in that writer's room writing those scripts, we have a writer named Jerry Reimel who writes all these lines, and he's unbelievable. But when we go through what he writes and get it ready for Liev, that's the most fun hour of the week.
Well, I think you do an incredible job. I can't wait to watch tonight's season finale. Great work all season by you and all the people you coordinate. You know, senior coordinator. And that ain't no purgative. That is actual real. We thank you so much for your service to the league. And if you can slide in one of those conversations. Okay, yeah, here's a question I have for you that is not really good air, but I would like to get the answer to it. I forget this guy's name. I was sitting in a donkey trailer outside of the Cincinnati Bengals game with IBM, who was trying to be the virtual reality pitch for the NFL. I was there with a producer who had been around since the OG Sable. Bigger gentleman, played football. I forget he was very nice. He and I went and got beers out in the tailgate, had some food, talked about football, and I learned a lot about NFL films that day. He is
the Tuckett could have been Phil Tuckett if it was 10, 15 years ago. He's been gone, but
this is 3 years ago. He's been around a long time. This guy's like one of the oldest guys there, I think.
Maybe Todd Schmidt. I don't know. I mean, look, the films.
It's not like he'd remember.
Oh, fuck off.
NFL films is such a cool place. There's, we have this big building in Mount Laurel, and we've got over 200 people here, 80 some producers during football season to produce all these shows. So we've got like 15 shows that we put out a week right now. So you have to, and they're all basically 2-3 days after the games. And then we're doing 30 for 30s and HBO documentaries and everything else we do. So it takes like dozens of producers, and we have the other thing is that we have a cinematography department. So we have staff cinematographers at NFL Films, which is something that no production company has, like a staff of cinematographers. You mostly hire your cinematographers freelance. So I think that's something institutionally that gives us a real advantage.
It was Todd.
It was Todd.
Yeah.
Well, Todd got here the same year I did. And we both got here in 1997. He's a great dude.
He is. Great guy, as are you. We can't thank
Todd.
He's a big guy.
Oh, yeah?
Big guy. Cool guy. Loves the game, which I think is what NFL Films has. Like, there's an actual genuine passion, it feels like, for the NFL, right?
100%. Yeah, everybody here loves two things. Football and movies. Okay. It's in the title.
Hell yeah.
We love football and we love making movies. And the chance to wake up every day and come make football movies. And Pat, you starred in many of them. You're one of the favorite guys we ever worked with, Pat. We loved interviewing you. We used to, when we would have a car wash at the Super Bowl, it would be can we make sure we get McAfee? You're always top of the list. And AJ, we've made shows that the year the Packers won the Super Bowl, you've been in so many of our films. So we've enjoyed working with you guys as much as anybody.
Well, it's been an honor to be a part of it. I appreciate it. Hey, let's get the kicking doofus in here to give some answers. That is a great way to produce, and that's why NFL Films is the best. Can't wait to watch tonight. Please come back on whenever. We really appreciate your time here.
Anytime, guys. Really, thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Cosgrove. Hey, you know what this is for? Memory, dude. I did remember the guy's name.
Boom. No, you didn't. You got a text from Zito.
Yeah, in the middle of him answering, I'm looking at my phone. Yeah,
it was him.
Sorry about that. You're giving a great answer. I don't mean to.
How do you think Todd feels? You think his bosses appreciate to know that he was drinking beers on the job with you?
No, it wasn't beers.
After the job,
it wasn't
dude.
beers. It was beer.
You said during the game you you went, you found a beer bong, you bonged 6 to 8 beers at a time, and then you went back into the trailer.
I understand it was in Cincinnati, and that's how Ohio does it. Okay, classic Ohio. You could sip a beer. You know what I mean? And it's football.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it's movies.
Hey, I had no problem with it.
He was
I
a
had no
good
issue.
dude, though. He was really cool. I think he was wondering why I was sitting in that thing for so long as well. And he
I
was,
almost did one of those. I'm glad I almost did one of those games, the VR thing.
I don't want to say worst night of my life because there's been others. But driving home after that waste of time with drunk Foxy who had the time of his life.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
the
That
ti-
was one of the worst football games of all time, by the way. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You saw it.
I watched every single minute from a trailer, dude.
Somebody had a sweet run in that game. That was about it. If I remember.
That was it.
All right, let's get to a break. We're back on the other side. We got a lot to talk about. Coaching searches, GM searches. People are coming after Aaron now for coming after Colin Cowherd and Florio, I guess, are coming after Aaron pretty good.
Well, no surprise there on the second.
Did he go after them?
He attacked journalism. So, you know what I mean? When you go after one, Jay,
They all come running.
Florio.
I appreciate that. Hey,
Me too.
they're loyal.
Florio was
Stand up for each
basically
other.
like,
And by the way, we'll always be a player show, so fucking know that. You come after a player, there's a good chance we're going to be coming right back at you. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Florio basically whole tone was like, is it really so hard to think that this could have been truth?
Well, by the way, that was the question I asked Aaron. If you go back and listen to how we got to the point, I said, don't you think it's wild that it was actually believed by somebody enough to read it? That is probably a part of the problem there, you know. And then
Florio and Cowherd are coming after Aaron. What he said about the report that he was going to sit out the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think I just saw the tweet. I didn't get. By the way, I have nothing but respect for Cowherd, a man who's been doing what we've been doing for years. I mean, I got nothing but respect for Colin Cowherd. Got a chance to meet him. He was very nice to me. There's people that don't like him because of his sports takes, whatever the case. He's been grinding, not as hard as Boomer, but he has been grinding for a long time in the Daily Show. We got nothing but respect over there. The tweet I read alluded to the fact that he thinks Aaron was maybe behind the. I might have misread it. Nick's saying yes, because we've all been in conversation with Keith as all this has been happening. Okay. But I looked down at my phone. When I saw the picture of Todd, I also saw a tweet that said, Colin thinks Aaron might be behind prank about Super Bowl boycott. And if that is the case, and he came in yesterday and doubled down with that much anger on something he did, fucking more power to Aaron, dude. Yeah. This dude's playing chess, closed Sicilian. Yeah. He's playing closed Sicilian if that's the case. And also, Colin is as well. Mm-hmm. To land on that take, that's fun.
He knows what he's doing.
That's years of work.
Talk about
Colin is a pro.
Colin's a pro's pro. He'll be in a bunch of Hall of Fames. That tweet was wild. We'll have to listen to it during the break. Read through what Florio said. Florio's a big fan of Aaron.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Loves him. By the way, Florio and us, I think we get along.
Yeah. Gumpy loves him.
Wow. That is the thing. We have a Canadian sensation back there who has loose lips on his thoughts.
Yeah.
No, I'm honest.
All right. Okay. We'll be back.
It's all it is.
We'll be back in 4 minutes with the five. Once again, the opinions of those that I share a microphone with on a daily basis do not reflect the opinions of their peers
People don't like the truth, Gump.
or their employer.
I'm a truth stater.
Okay?
Here we go.
That's your truth. We're back in 4 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show with some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line 1-833-4-McAfee.
And every team that I played for was different. But in Pittsburgh, you pulled up to the gate, waved your hand, they opened the gate, you pull in, you park literally 150 feet from the plane on the tarmac, right? That's what we did. The team's pretty much all on the plane, and they're waiting for Evgeny Malkin and Sergei Gonchar, the two Russians. The guys who come on the plane, and they check off. All right, Mick's here, Gumpy's here, Pat's here. They check everybody else.
Present.
What's that?
Present.
Yeah, present. Thank you.
Murray, present.
Next thing you know, the guy that's working for the team, his phone rings, and he picks up the phone, and he's like, "Hello," and it's the fucking, what's it called, the control tower. They're calling. They say, do you guys have somebody that they're driving a Porsche on the runway and they're going like 120 miles an hour down the runway? And he's like, yeah, and that's Gino's car. So apparently Malkin drove out and he just thought, there's a lot of road right there. Let's open the bitch up. And he went out on the runway and he was going like 120 plus. Get this guy off that. So they're calling, trying to get him. And Gino just comes pulling over, and I guess his excuse, I don't know. This is paraphrased by he's like, I don't know. Yeah. And maybe it was apparently Gino and Ganch, which is hilarious because Sergei Gonchar was supposed to be the mentor for Gino. I don't know what happened right there. If Gino's like, let's bring this bitch out on the runway, and Gonchar's like, yeah, let's do it. But they went out there and they were ripping down the Pittsburgh International Airport down the main runway in their Porsche. He's a beauty, Gino.
The thought of everybody sitting on that plane. We're waiting on that.
Hey, he just did whatever he wanted at all times.
You can't speak English. You can say whatever.
I not understand. In Russia, we do that. You know?
It's a get out of jail free card.
Hey, after death, what happens, Bill?
What happens after death? I don't know. I have no idea. But I know there's nothing that's mad at me.
That's good.
It's just so stupid because he created everything.
Or she.
She, well, definitely a she, because God doesn't take responsibility for his own actions. What? You set me up. No, I just don't understand. Like, yeah. If you just watch nature videos, you can't believe in a God that cares.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I watched this one time, this fucking baboon or a little monkey. There was a baby gazelle, and they go after him if they can get him. And he got it away from the mother, and the mother can't get rid of the thing, and he just ripped the thing and just started eating the thing alive as it was screaming in agony. And I'm just like, you made something that did that? Or like rabbits? Like their whole fucking purpose is just to be eaten. They have no fucking defense, just fucking hopping around. Just complete jerk-offs, right? And then they just like, their only survival is if we fuck so much. We can stay out in front. Like they're literally designed to keep everybody else alive by being eaten alive.
So you think there's some flaws potentially in the entire...
No, I just think that, I think if there's a God, right, and he made all of this shit, or she, right, or they, or the deep state, man. I just think that,
If you all don't know, it is hard to find at-home COVID tests in stores these days. We've had guys driving to every pharmacy in the city looking for them. Bill spent 45 minutes the other day just trying to find one.
Hour and a half, actually.
Hour and a half. There you go. Still couldn't find one.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
He did find one. He tested negative. Congrats.
Congrats, Bill. Exactly. Congrats, Bill. That's why Roman has stepped up and is now offering at-home COVID-19 rapid antigen self-tests.
Oh.
They shipped a bunch to our office, and it's already come up in the clutch. We just talked about it.
Yeah.
Bill tested negative. Congrats, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Baby Bill.
For just $30, Roman will send you 2 rapid antigen self-tests right to your door with free shipping. Some places are limiting a few at-home COVID tests per person, but you can order up to 12 boxes through Roman right now. So go to getroman.com/PatM and get yourself some peace of mind. That's getroman.com/PatM for COVID take-home tests with free shipping.
And I'm going to, inside baseball here on this one. Roman is a company that we've been partners with for a long time selling, their other men's health treatments.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
They've become a pretty big company at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They are hand packing these tests. Mm-hmm. They feel a due diligence and obligation to do it. They could not figure out the logistics on how to get the tests. So that what I've been told is the people that we have dealt with from an advertising standpoint and the people that run the company, all hands on deck packing those things, shipping those things.
Wow.
That is wild.
Thank you, Roman.
And they asked for us to promote it. I mean, that sounds like a death sentence to us, but I mean, I guess not knowing.
Yeah, that's right.
Has a chance to be as well.
That's a big deal, though. Tests are hard to find, man. I've had to go to Walgreens multiple times, over the last month, and they don't have them sometimes.
Was it getroman.com/PatM?
Correct.
And they're shipping it how quickly? Is 2 days is normally how they normally ship?
It doesn't say 2 day on here, but shipping is free.
And should you have some, just in case, right? You should probably, because if you're shipping it, it's probably not, you're not going to be able to take it right now.
Yeah.
You know, like that is something to think about.
I have heard
down the
scientists-
road when you may need to take it and you're not going to be able to find one.
Traveling,
somewhere.
if you're traveling somewhere and you need to produce a negative.
Exactly. I actually saw their tests on a different website the other day, a very big website.
Really?
What are you talking about?
What website's that? ToneDigs.com?
No.
Tecovas.com?
I don't know if we could do this as part of the. They're on Amazon.
Oh.
Romans things are?
Really?
Shout out.
Shout out. I guess you go to Amazon too.
Yeah, that works.
Whatever the case, they just want to
get
move.
'em.
Yeah, whatever the
Just fucking
case.
get 'em.
Even if you don't go to getroman.com/PatAm, if you can find a better deal with the more efficient,
Do what you got to do.
Just do what you got to do.
All
Get
about
tested. We appreciate Roman doing that in kind of expanding their brand. But from what I've been told on the back end, the juice has not been worth the squeeze, other than them feeling as if they're doing society a little bit of service, which is great. Let's go ahead and order a bunch of those. Let's go to the phone, shall we, AJ Hawk?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, nobody answered the phone actually because the person that was going to answer the phone is actually out with COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and he actually Bruce.
Bruce is out.
Bruce was out. Yeah, Bruce is out. He, by the way, self-reported symptoms.
Smart.
Got a couple of the Roman tests. Triple positive. Now he's abusing the amount of Roman tests we got. You don't need to take 3 of them, dude.
Or
You got it,
5, or
Bruce.
5.
Move on, pal. Get better.
He has tested himself 4 times a day for the last 2 weeks.
Well, he doesn't want to be, the guy that potentially spreads it here, especially in playoff football time, which
That's
we do
right.
appreciate. But I mean, we only got a certain amount of bags of these tests, dude. We don't need them all up your nose.
We were talking earlier. He's a COVID virgin. He's never had it before, so he's worried.
Well, congrats. I think he's vaxxed, and I think he's
Had a
got
baby,
one
Bruce.
now. He'll be
Yeah.
superhuman.
Get well soon, Bruce.
Good luck, Bruce.
He'll be fine, pal.
By the way, Dr. Drew said that if you had it and you got vaxxed, you're like a superhuman.
Yeah, I feel it actually coursing through my bones. Right
Yeah, but there's a bunch of people that are vaxxed that have had COVID that are getting COVID again.
Yeah.
CEO of companies will tell you different.
What?
Who?
Go ahead. Go on.
CEO of Pfizer said it after the second one. It basically doesn't mean anything. You gotta get the booster.
This guy.
No, that's true.
This guy. I don't know if this is a Connor stat that. No,
that's true.
I don't know where you saw this tweet from, honestly. You can't trust anything anymore, but whatever the case, Roman has tests. I'm thankful they got into the test game. That's very, very nice of them. We should answer some phone calls at some point. We will do that.
Yeah, I'm blocking them all, so they're loading in right now.
The phones?
Yeah. So we block them the night before, so now we
What happened to
unblock
Mitt?
'em.
Mitt went on a trip. He's back on Monday.
Oh, where'd he go?
His family, I don't know. We didn't dive into it. He'll be back on Monday. He changed his name to PMI Mitt, M-I-T-T.
Yep.
So he lost his verification, his blue check.
Yep. A little bit of a rebrand.
Yeah, because I think he was having a conversation with somebody, and they were like, PMI Met, what is that? No, they call me Mitt, dude. Well, it's spelled Met right there, clearly. Well, I'll fucking change it. And then he woke up, no blue check mark.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, my God, he lost it. And we don't know anybody over there, so that thing's never coming
That's
back.
bye.
But Mitt will be back on Monday. Can't wait for it. Foxy's been on quite a run as the camera cutter for Hammer Dahn.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, actually.
All right, let's cover some more things. Flores was fired for communication and collaboration per Dave Hyde. Dave Hyde says that what happened was there's a communication fatal error between Flores and the team, Flores and Tua. Allegedly, at the halftime of a game, he presented it to the entire team that Tua stunk. Is that what happened, Gumpy? Is that what he did? I didn't read all the way into it, but Gumpy, our native Fins Up, Fins Fam representative, Brian Flores, halftime of the game, say, hey, everybody's doing great except for our quarterback. He fucking stinks. And maybe that was just the tip of the iceberg or just one piece of the puzzle that is Flores not getting along with anybody in there. Is that what you're hearing, Gumpy? And how upset are you as a Dolphins fan that all this is happening right now after a winning season?
Yeah, it was halftime at the Titans game, and then after the game, they're saying Tua cussed out Flores. I'm very torn, Pat, because I loved Flores, but as you know, I also love Tua, so I don't really know what to think right now.
So Flores is, and we talked about this in the first hour, AJ, and I get your take on this. You talk Mangini, he was running Oklahoma drills for rookies on Wednesday mornings at 6 a.m. Okay, hey, come in, full pads, Oklahoma drills. We're setting the standard. We're going to be a physical team. Joe Judge now being run out of time because he's an embarrassment, but he didn't lose the team. This is what John Mayer said. We're not saying this about Joe Judge, by the way. I'm not saying this about Joe Judge, although it did appear to be that way publicly. He isn't working out for his hard-nosed change of culture ways. B-Flow, same thing. Matt Patricia in Detroit lost the locker room. All these guys that come from New England, I don't know what Josh McDaniels did in Denver, I'm not 100% sure, but all these guys that seem to come from the Belichick model all have the same way. Hey, we're assholes. We work hard. We don't smile. We win games. The issue has been that last last thing. None of them win games. And it's hard to keep people on. Beeflo, I guess, won 8 out of the last 9. But it's hard to keep people on the boat of misery if you don't have results. And I think that's the biggest thing about the coaching tree that comes from New England. They all try to enact like year 10 Bill Belichick when it's their year 1 and they have no fucking resume other than the fact that they were with Bill. Do you agree with that, AJ?
Yeah, it does seem to kind of be the case, but Flores was supposed to be the guy that came from Belichick's coaching tree that made it, right? He was the guy we were talking about before, like, oh, this guy actually kind of figured it out. He's going to be the guy that he's a little bit different than Belichick. He's doing it his own way, but man, I'm interested over the next like 6 months to hear really like behind the scenes what was going on in Miami, and also more credit to Tua for keeping this behind the scenes. If he did end up like, I don't know if he cussed out Flores, but if Flores is calling him out at halftime in front of everybody and they're having all these issues, you know what happened the majority of the season. We didn't hear anything from Tua, did we, about his like he's not pleased with Flores or anything?
So Tua did an interview with Jeff Darlington, I think it was Monday Night Football, before a Monday Night Football game against the Saints. And he said, I grew up with a father pretty similar to Coach Flores. He's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And when he spoke about it, it was very, and after that interview, by the way, I said, man, it's hard not to love Tua. He said all the right things, seemed to have a little bit of swag. And then you look at how he plays and the games they win and the way he, massive holding, I guess. But when he gets a long run, he has a little bit of swagger. He's kind of been up against all the odds since he's come to Miami. It hasn't been like, hey, this is our guy, this is our franchise. We're thankful we drafted him at 5. We are pumped to have him as a quarterback. It seems like it's been the exact opposite. Fitz time, then Tua time, then 2-minute drill, it matters. Tua's out, Fitz is in. Rumors that they want Deshaun Watson, Tua's out. And Tua has maintained this mental toughness that I wouldn't have been able to have. I would not have been able to have at all. I don't think a lot of quarterbacks that have been held in high regards for their entire life would have been able to have. They did win 8 out of the last 9, so maybe they were starting to get onto the like, hey, we found something here. But I guess they said it was irreconcilable.
Hey, if they made the playoffs, though, would he have been fired if they made the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck you, Keith. Irreconcilable. That's irreconcilable. That's 6.
6 piece.
How about that?
Hey, you got a fucking little 5-piece with your purgative, Keith. How about that, dude? Huh, AJ?
You got him. Purgative? Yeah.
Anyways, they cited irreconcilable differences. It seems like that everybody hates each other. Is that really what the case is? You win.
But okay, so Flores, is it more like he's not just a Tua guy, or was he obviously is having issues with communication between the front office and I guess what is the relationship like with the team? Does the team still like him a lot, but the front office doesn't? Like what? I don't know. Did we have any idea this was coming? I know this is like the most surprising firing, but did anyone, Gump, you're on the inside there, did you have any rumblings that there was issues like this?
So I would go back to Stephen Ross as an owner is hands off. He's literally not around at all. But you can go back to Minka Fitzpatrick when Flores got rid of him. He was a first rounder. They traded him to the Steelers.
How about Kyle Van Noy? Kyle Van Noy signs that deal, then he's gone. What is that? Why is that? Is that because B-Flow? Is that because of Chris? Is that because of organizational? It just seems like although they were having success, everybody's on the complete wrong page with each other from a human standpoint. But now B-Flow is going to get a head coaching job wherever he wants, is what it's sounding like. And how do you know? Like, you just have to assume he's going to get along with the GM, or is that something we should even worry about? Or maybe is Miami the problem and B-Flow isn't the problem?
Well, because he went 10-6 last year. And, I mean, I believe Gumpy said earlier in the year, like, they had more success on offense once Flores took over the play calling. So it really just doesn't make sense at all.
He had dual OCs. He literally brought in dual offensive coordinators. Nobody knows who was playing the call. When Flores took over defensive play calling, they were better.
Yeah, I was going to say B-Flow is a defensive guy, but if he was calling the offense, I'm sure him too had to be in a different relationship.
But the offensive line stinks, and Chris Greer drafted the entire offensive line.
There was a tweet about the pressures that Tua took as opposed to everybody else. I think Dolphins are at like 350-something or 250-something, and everybody else is 100 or so less.
Yeah, it was topped by a mile.
Yeah, so Tua has been, kind of under fire, both on the field and off the field. They still have success. He still maintains his level of chill. Waddle's young. Tua's there. That's a great head coaching opportunity for whoever is going to get in there. And we just will never find out, I guess, about what happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was 40 more pressures allowed than anyone else.
What was the numbers?
236. The Jets were 196.
236, 196. Yeah, it looks large. It looks large over there.
Hey, why isn't McDaniels getting interviewed?
I mean, for the same reason Pat just brought up, the lack of success. And, like, why is Mayo getting interviews? Like, why would you give an interview to a Patriots assistant coach?
At this point, it does feel like they're not going to have success for whatever reason.
Well,
but they have immense amount of knowledge. They've been there. They've done that. They experienced it.
So you want to get. That's why you want to interview those guys so you get that information from them and you can use it even if you don't hire them.
So I was going to ask Aaron about that. Like his quarterback coach and offense coordinator are getting interviewed by a bunch of teams that he could potentially play against. How do they know what to withhold and what to keep and what's real and what's fugazi? You know, that's something in this entire process. Yeah. How do you know to give? Like we got companies asking for all our information. I'm like, is this for somebody else? Hour 3 is on the other side. Cheers. How real is this? Because I'm not just giving you our entire blueprint, you know, that you can just now have. And that's like the interview process, I think, as a whole. How do you, because you should be.
You can't let them keep any of your stuff. Like if you're a coach and you come in, they're like, hey, here, put all your stuff on a little zip drive and just give it to us. Like, no. I got real paper that I'm going to be walking out of this building with when I leave here.
Yeah, let us see how the strategy and how you won other places and what is something we should think about that you would be able to bring that nobody else would. And then, okay, thank you. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Matt, you want to be a head coach or not? Do you want to be a GM or not? I mean, that is a game. If you're an owner, you should be trying to get as much information as possible on who you should be seeking in this current landscape. I mean, I guess they use like independent agencies.
Yeah.
Some of these
search
owners,
firms.
some of these,
Houston.
What an embarrassment, dude.
Yeah.
What an absolute.
They pay millions of dollars, don't they, to have these
Ferry.
consulting firms come in and do like help them research coaches?
And once again, that gives you the option to be able to say, they picked the wrong. Yeah, they fucked up. You know, it's like an accountability thing. You know, if you always use stats, the numbers told me to, so I did what the numbers said.
But if you don't feel, I get it though. Say you're an owner and you own this team and you don't know a whole lot about football, you don't feel super comfortable. I understand trying to bring outside people in to try to say, hey, some owners, I don't know if their ego or not will let them, but they say, hey, I don't really know what makes a good coach.
I understand that, but you shouldn't be relying the future of your billion-dollar operation that's only getting multi-billion-dollar operation just to be in somebody's hands that isn't even in your building and might be hiring for 2 other teams. I mean, that is an issue. Now, the Bears bring in Bill Polian and others like, hey, come help us out. But some of these agencies are hiring for like 4 different programs.
And college programs too as well.
It's good money. That consulting business is something we should think about getting in on. What's going on, Dix?
There's one big difference with Mayo, and it's the same as Vrabel. He was a player before he was a coach.
Did Vrabel coach up there?
No.
But he was, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But he never coached up there, right?
No.
He came through the Bill
Houston.
O'Brien.
Yeah, Urban Meyer tree.
Houston, then Ohio State. Or no, Ohio State, then Houston, right?
Did you see Man in the Arena last night?
No.
So during it, there was a lot of talk about coaching and how hard of a coach Belichick is and how hard he is to play for. And they used a clip from Damian Woody from an ESPN appearance. What was maybe NFL Live or something like that. And we know D Wood, and he talked about, he compared playing to Belichick to like going through a tunnel. He said, you're in a tunnel all season long, and it's dark, and it's tough. And at the end of the tunnel is that Super Bowl. But if you're not getting to the end of that tunnel and seeing that Super Bowl and you're just dark in the tunnel, he made it sound pretty miserable.
Well, that's what all these other franchises and programs.
It's fun to win. So they say, hey, it's fun to win.
They're experiencing all of the darkness of the tunnel, and then it just seems like there's an extendo on the tunnel.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, I'll keep getting chewed out and doing push-ups and full pads and running hundreds and listening to your bullshit, but there has to be some sort of happiness at the end of this. And whenever it inevitably doesn't come, for some of these coaches, it's probably the end of the line, but at least they shot their shot and did things their way. Speaking of light at the end of the tunnel, that's a good tease for hour 3. Hey, Russell Wilson, I don't know if it's him or Team 3 sending out these cryptic messages, but we got to dive into that and more. Hour 3 will be on the other side with Barry Sanders joining us as well.
Nice.
Can't wait to chat with the GOAT. Can't wait to chat with all of you. Zito had been answering the phone calls. You heard him in the back. We'll get to the phone calls and more. This is Wednesday, January 12th. Hour 3 is on the other side. It's called Gold Bonds for this thing here. You know what I mean?
Wait, what's it for? Is it like a sand wedge?
Anything close to the green. It's like a 60.
Yeah.
I think it's like 60.
Little rescue club.
Yeah.
I used it one time on a course. I duffed it 4 times, and I said that one's going to stay. That one's never seen a course.
Is that the one you gotta just use the same stroke as a putter?
No, that's the chipper. The little double
Oh, that
size.
little thing that you use in the fringe area.
Yeah. If I ever get into pro golf, which is probably going to happen after this whole thing, that one's going to be one of the spots in my bag.
Yeah.
That
They say
little
use
chip.
the 9.
They're illegal though.
What?
I think those little chipper deals are illegal.
Ah, bullshit.
You can use
It's
the
all right. You
9
won't
iron.
ever get close enough.
I will, dude. Wait until you hear what we're up to, and then
I mean, I don't care. You could put 9 golf simulators in the Coliseum. It's not going to make you a pro golfer.
It's not a Coliseum, by the way. It's a fucking igloo.
It's
all
called
right?
the
Get it
igloo,
right,
you
AJ. We've already talked about it.
Wake up.
You guys all at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's a branding thing, you know?
How many times do we have to
I
tell
tell you
you
what,
the
it
same
is
thing?
mesmerizing just watching you do this.
It's
on the
crazy.
monitor. It really
How about
is.
you get some air under that thing? That's nothing. You have like 3 inches of pipe.
I mean,
You piece of shit.
How dare you?
How about you
Scumbag,
have
dude.
some awareness?
Anybody hate you? And no, you can't say it publicly, but does
I would imagine there's a list, you know?
That'd be a shame. You didn't
I will
deserve
say
it,
that,
by the
no,
way.
seriously,
You're just
like,
doing your job.
There are some people here who I've had some angst with or some tension with, but I see them at these meetings. It's sort of why I come to these meetings, and you hash it out and you kind of figure it out, and you're like, all right, I was mad at you for this, you were mad at me for this. Let's fist bump from semi-social distance and kind of move on. That happens a lot at these meetings too.
Yeah, especially while you guys are out there boozing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, why? Hey, one whiskey for the guy pissed off over there.
Why?
Give me one Bud Light for the lady I offended over there.
Why?
Give me one beer.
Why?
One tequila.
Why?
One vodka.
Why?
I need to make good with everybody in this goddamn building.
Why?
Is that what you do at those things, man?
I mean, yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, it's a good move. Yeah, it's a good move. You're a legend.
100%.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this beautiful Wednesday, January 12th, 2022, shall begin après this beat drop. Sitting to my left, your right, in an attic in Ohio, is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a COVID survivor, and a man who just recently turned 45 years old, AJ Hall. Thank you, AJ. Happy birthday again, man. I know we
Thank you.
celebrated.
Thank you.
How old are you?
38.
Ugh. Late 30s. Late 30s, dude.
That sucks.
I know. I'd rather be dead, right?
Well,
no. What is your problem?
Why do you do that?
Why do people worry about their age so much? I feel like that. People start to worry about their age.
Yeah, I always say much better than the alternative, you know, and people
No, I
do.
remember when I turned 20, I thought that was really old. I remember like, geez, I'm 20 years old. So come on now.
I didn't think I was going to make it to 30 actual, you know, and I guess when I got in trouble, that kind of put the brakes on that whole death sentence coming early before, you know, anything else. But now, you know, I feel like I want to live forever.
Yeah.
You know, and
Why not?
I never thought that before. I was always like, hey, we're here for a good time, not a long time. You know, that whole thing. But now.
Yeah, General Bob used to use that a lot. Still does.
Yeah, but he's like one of the most fit people of all time, as are you. I feel like the body deteriorating and not being able to do what you were once able to do is quite a smack in the mouth of like your confidence, which is why people hate getting old, I think.
Yeah, well, of course. I think, honestly, a bonus of that, of aging, like we've joked about on the show. People are like, yeah, I hate to tell you, man, you may have some arthritis when you're 65. I'm like, but when I was 19, that started. So, like, we know how to handle pain. I feel like, you know, like, yeah, people say, oh, does it hurt when you, yeah, of course. Like, yeah, Absolutely. Everything hurts all the time, but that's just how it is. Like, you know how to handle it. You know how to work through it, and it doesn't bother you because you don't think about it.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, I've had bad knees since I'm like 14 years old or whatever. You know,
Osgood-Schlatter?
trying to manage that. Well, and arthritis, Osgood-Schlatter, that whole thing. And then the hips and the growth and the usage. I agree that we, had probably built up a little bit of grit in the joints at an earlier age than everybody else in the athletic world. Do you think whenever you go to heaven, and I think, by the way, everybody is potentially on course.
I don't know about him. I don't know about him.
A little toxic, but I think he does good for society. I think
good dad.
Sure. As a whole, he's a good dad.
He's a father.
Yeah, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea what I'm like.
Yeah, you're
just saw you on
you're
Monday.
Right. You're right. That is the
Well,
problem.
I guess you do. You guys know. Yeah. Okay. We don't really know who anybody is, I guess is what the truth is. If you don't interact with somebody daily and see them in person and hang out, you don't know. I'm saying you guys do. You know who I am.
Yes.
But
a scumbag.
Other people, we don't. We think we know people. We don't.
Nick just called you a scumbag. We don't all believe that, but that's how Nick feels, and that is Nick's probably takes one to know one type situation.
Yeah, thank you. Nick.
But
Yes, I appreciate Nick.
But when you go to heaven, do you just get to pick the Avi you think? I want 32-year-old me.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. I want 25-year-old me.
It's your prop.
Well, do you get to pick 20-year-old body with 45-year-old mind?
Yeah, because that's what Drew Brees was doing at the end of his career.
True.
I heard him actually say,
It's heaven. You can do anything, right?
Bingo.
That's right.
Well, I don't know if that's the case.
This isn't the metaverse.
I asked some questions about what goes on in heaven and if some things are going to take place there.
Sure.
And I was told it's just a world with no sin and you feel good all the time. I'm like, well, some things feel
Fornication you're talking about?
Potentially, I did ask the FCA head, if head happens in heaven and if sex happens in heaven and everything like that. And that was an interesting. I don't know if he's ever been asked that. And I think that is something that I do bring to the table.
You do ask the hard questions.
That's what I'm talking about.
No
And
pun
nobody-
intended.
Got him.
Like boners, he said.
Roman.
But you can. It's just no adultery.
Yeah, well, whatever the case is, when you start thinking about everybody's trying to get to heaven, entire decisions are being made, entire life, wars are happening, trying to get to heaven. Have we ever got into the conversation about what happens at heaven? I know Biggie Smalls says, I don't want to go to heaven with the goody goodies. Take me to hell. You know what I mean? Where all the good music is and everything like that. What happens in it? What body am I in heaven?
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Your soul.
Dealer's choice.
My soul
You could be Usain Bolt.
battered. No,
That's sweet.
huh?
I said you could be Usain Bolt. You could probably pick whatever body you want, right?
No.
I can go to heaven, just say I would like to be Usain Bolt. That'd be awesome. Imagine me in the Olympics up there in heaven. I'd be so much faster than your fucking soul, dude. I'd be Usain Bolt just lapping you. How you doing? Then guess who I'm going to be on the hockey rink? Sidney Crosby. I'm going to beat the shit out of everybody in hockey.
No.
Yeah, wait till you see me in football. I'm going to be Aaron Rodgers, but I'm also going to punt because I still got it. So I'm going to be playing all the positions. You guys, wait till you see the show my soul puts on in the selection process at the pearly gates whenever I'm there waiting just as long as everybody else.
Okay, that'll be cool. But I'm actually going to go ahead and choose a reincarnation and come back as Aaron Rodgers and be the greatest quarterback in the NFL. It's going to be sweet.
Is that an option?
It is now.
Right now, it could be, Pat. You could be this shell that your soul was in could be like your 15th time on Earth.
Okay, so that is what the Kabbalah, Jewish.
And reincarnation, you mean?
Yeah, the highest
Yeah,
level.
who does it? Do Buddhists believe
Enlightenment?
Hold on, there's a lot of people that believe in reincarnation, but there's a
that?
segment
You're talking
of,
the red little band that Madonna used to wear in Celebrities.
boom, yeah, that was supposed to mean, I believe, and I might be wrong, this is one conversation with one person that I just so happened to sit next to for 45 minutes.
Sure.
And this person did not know they were getting a full boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
How you doing? Keep it moving. It was the most Jewish Orthodox.
Okay.
It was an Orthodox Jewish man who was sitting next to me, and I got a chance to chat with him. I don't think that normally gets to happen. Kabbalah means you're so close to God. It's like the highest form. You're trying to get to this that you can almost practice it. So when the celebrities were doing that, I think the actual people were like, we're really doing this whole thing. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in that conversation that happened one time on a ride somewhere, they believe that your soul goes through bodies and punishments, and then once it is cleared to go to heaven, it goes.
Yes.
But that soul could live numerous different lives and different.
Are you aware of that? Are you aware that you're living different lives? So do they know, hey, this is my 7th time around here?
No.
Yeah, and is that what deja vu is?
That'd be pretty cool.
Deja vu is actually in the Brain Explained. It's basically creates through memories what possible scenarios may happen.
And that's
in the
their
future.
theory.
No, that's the Brain Explained, like how they.
Can you get kicked out of heaven?
That's their theory.
Not like religious. You can watch it on Netflix.
No, I'm saying, but that is that particular person.
Oh, yes.
Describing how they believe that it works, but who knows? We don't know shit about fuck, right? I mean, I haven't looked into this enough, Brain Explained enough, but that's from one particular group of people's description of it, right?
Yeah, and I'm also saying reincarnation because I'm not ready for heaven. You know, I'd rather keep going, maybe come back as a lion, maybe.
More like a cockroach.
Or cockroaches never die.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think cockroach would be an upgrade to your soul. I think that is bad. I think
What if I'm king of the cockroaches?
Sure. Well, you'd be cool, but you're still a cockroach.
Cockroaches are pretty sweet. We saw like 50 of them in that house in Tampa.
Yeah, and also in the house at the pub.
Oh, yeah.
They are very cool. Seem to have a pretty chill life and everything like that.
Well, at the pub, there were a lot of mice who had a pretty sweet life. I don't know if the cockroaches were living too well.
What I'm saying, I don't know if that is where a soul that is destined for heaven is headed.
No.
This conversation has lasted 11 minutes because the guest that has joined us is one we were excited about.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, a GOAT, a Hall of Famer, an icon, a man who retired at the age that he felt he was ready to retire, that left the entire world wanting more of his physical football greatness. Here presenting and pitching the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares Sweepstakes, which is something everybody needs to get involved in.
Had to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Sanders. Barry, what's going on, dude?
Pat, man, it's great to be here, man. Great to be here. I'm sorry I had you guys waiting, man, having to talk about cockroaches. Sorry about that.
Hey, hold on, Barry. I want to let you know we got down bad. We were talking reincarnation. We were talking cockroach. I mean, we were down bad waiting for you, Barry. We're excited you're here.
There's nothing more resilient than a cockroach, though, man. Those things, I tell you, hard to get rid of.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, you clearly have some thoughts on this. There's no way if your soul is reincarnated in new things after you die that the cockroach is one of the better soul landing spots. Do you think that, or do you believe their resiliency would be a good place to be reincarnated at?
Yeah, I think it's all relative, man. I think it depends on where, you know, what perspective you're coming from. You know, how good you had it on this side of things. You know, so
Barry, I know that you've been presenting and talking about the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares Sweepstakes all morning. I assume we're the first one to ask you about reincarnation, and that is 100% on us. Let's talk about the Super Bowl Squares Sweepstakes presented by Rocket Mortgage. What is it? How is it? And how do we win?
Absolutely, man. It's just Rocket Mortgage, you know, giving away tons of cash to fans once again. It's the biggest game of squares ever. It's the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes. Every score change, fans have a chance of winning $50,000. So extra points, field goals, you know, touchdowns, 2-point conversions. And then there's two grand prizes where fans will have a chance of winning $500,000. So at halftime and at the end of the game, Rocket Mortgage is going to give away $500,000. For fans who recommend friends, you have an opportunity of winning additional squares. So please go to rocketmortgagesquares.com, sign up. You know, the entry window closes February 11th, I believe, the Friday before Super Bowl. Is Rocket Mortgage just really allowing fans to win a lot of cash for Super Bowl.
Barry, I'm sorry, did you say $50,000 or $15,000 for every score change?
$50,000 for every score change.
Rocket Mortgage is doing fucking good.
And then $500,000 for the two grand prizes.
Hey, that's a lot of money going out, Barry. Have you ever participated in this, and have you ever won? We just assume you're good at everything.
I haven't participated. Hey, I've won just being able to team up with Rocket Mortgage.
Oh,
Get the word out to fans.
Let's talk about Rocket Mortgage. Is from Michigan, I believe, right?
Michigan State, yeah.
Michigan State. So obviously deep ties to the Lions and to Michigan State, I believe, is now presented by Rocket Mortgage. Correct. The Spartans here. And, Dan's given back to the Michigan community in a huge way. You will always be remembered as a Detroit Lion. I think the same thing for you. With what MCDC did this year and that team, a lot of fight. fight all the way till the end. There's a lot of franchises that didn't win a lot of games, and there's a lot of franchises that look in a lot worse situation than the Detroit Lions currently are. What are your thoughts on what MCDC is doing with them and the future of the entire program?
Well, yeah, I think, it was a tough year, obviously, Pat. But I think you look at the last month and a half of the season. We won 3 games. We were in a lot of other games. We beat a division rival who's going to the playoffs, the last game of the season. And you know this, Pat, from being in the league. There's sometimes there's a very slim margin between top teams, middle teams, and bottom teams. We know that, and I know Coach Campbell understood we had our work cut out for us coming into this season. We are, somewhat rebuilding, but we saw a lot of fight. We saw guys out there playing their hearts out to the very end. And that's what you like to see. And so now we're just trying to figure out, okay, who's going to be with us, going forward, and who's not a part of that picture, But I think there's certainly some things we can take from the year, and some positive things we can take. Beating the Cardinals at home was another big one as well. So yeah, I mean, but we understand, hey, look, you look around our division, you look at the Packers, you realize they're the class of the division. They're one of the best teams in the league, and even not just the Packers, but you're always going to have a fight in this division with the Vikings and the Bears, and so we really have to do our homework this offseason and get ready for next year.
Barry, the way that you ran was so unique, in your body control and everything that you could do. I'm just curious, like growing up, did you play other sports? Do you think that helped you if you did? And did you do any kind of different or unique training, or you just always been this guy that's been so elusive and able to cut and stop on a dime and all of that?
I think it was a combination of things. I think, I love being a running back. I love watching running backs as a kid. Whether you were high school or college or pro running back, the guys who were a big influence on me were guys like Terry Metcalf and guys like Tony Dorsett and Marcus Allen, O.J. Simpson, and guys like that. And so absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, but to answer your question, I think, and eventually I realized that, yes, I'm a runner. And so I think I did a lot of just running drills to prepare. I was gifted with good natural ability to run, but as a young player, it took me a while to learn that really my main gift was being a runner. And so to get comfortable, in my workouts, really pushing it and really focusing on that part of my game. But I've always loved the running back position, but to answer your question, yeah, I think I'm that kid from that generation. I was always outside playing. The other sports that I played was basketball. I loved playing basketball, and I ran track a little bit, and have always been just a diehard football fan.
Whenever because you are the standard at this point for a lot of people, whenever you hear comparisons like, this guy's got a little Barry Sanders, it looked like Barry when he did it. Oh, it looked like he's got a little Barry in the second and third quarter. Like, do you appreciate that? Do you hate that? And do you think some people deserve it and warrant it, and some other people, for instance, I'm a standard version of a white body. So I get a lot of people that tweet me like, hey, people say we look alike. And it's like a smack in the mouth sometimes. I'm like, is that right? Like, is this actually happening? Like, this is a problem. For you, whenever they say, oh, this guy looks like Barry, this guy looks like Barry. Do you enjoy that? Do you appreciate that? And there's some runners that you watch in the league today that you're like, okay, I like the way this guy plays.
No, to me, it's always a compliment. And I know that for me, like I said before, there were a lot of great players that had an influence on me and the way I run. And I probably get a lot of credit for looking at guys like Billy Sims, and trying to imitate him. But people give me credit for a lot of those things that I didn't necessarily initiate, like a Gale Sayers or something like that. But it's always a compliment. And I think the NFL has a lot of great young running back talent in the league. You look at what Jonathan Taylor did this year.
Hey, you like him? Hey, he led the
can't-
league. Why didn't they just give him the ball the entire time, Barry?
I can't imagine how he would not get 35 carries against the Jaguars. I have no idea how that happened.
Does Barry know football or no?
But you look at, I'm sure Derrick Henry will be back next year, bigger and stronger than ever. Obviously, he'll. I think he's maybe playing in the playoffs. But you look at Derrick Henry, like I mentioned, Jonathan Taylor. You look at the Nick Chubb kid, or the Jacobs kid, there's a lot of good young running back talent out there. But at the top of that list, you look at, I think you put Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry. Don't forget about Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott had another solid year this year. And so, I think there are a lot of good young running backs.
Do you think the position doesn't matter for the style of play? You guys, the skill set is still remains. If you were dropped into this game today, you think, and I don't want you to ever be put in a position where you would have to compliment yourself. Other people have done that a lot. But do you think your skill set would be able to match up well with the current NFL? And do you think you'd be able to still shed game to running backs of the current generation, even though the game has changed so much?
I think that's a good question. I think I would love the opportunity to find out, Pat, honestly.
You still got it? This guy still got it.
The reason I say it because I know the game has evolved. I know defenses are better, things like that. But I also feel like offenses have evolved, with run-pass options where you don't even know, what whether you're going to run or pass, when you break the huddle, And so I think there are a lot of things that keep defenses on their heels, and so I think there are a lot of really intriguing things that these offenses do to be able to create room for running backs. I think about that question all the time, Pat.
I think Motor City Dan Campbell would sign you up. And maybe they pay you back that money they stole from you too. You and Calvin Johnson. Maybe that'll break the curse and get him some wins. Go ahead, Foxy.
Yeah, Barry. I unfortunately am too young to remember watching you play football, which really is a damn shame. But what everyone always says about you is that you'd score a touchdown, hand the ball to the ref, score a touchdown, hand the ball to the ref. And I just want to know, why'd you start doing that?
I think mostly that came from my dad just telling me to play the game a certain way. And it's something, that for me, always as a running back, there was nothing greater than scoring a touchdown, other than winning the game. And so I always felt like, hey, that was the icing on the cake. What else is there left to do? So really, it just came from playing the game a certain way, and that was just my perspective.
Do you hate the fact that whenever somebody has emotion or celebrates, they immediately say Barry was just handed the ball to the official? Are you against people that are, very excitable and much different than you? And do you also appreciate the fact that is how you are referenced in basically every single celebration conversation?
No, yeah, for me, it's a very emotional game. It really is. It's an exciting game, and so I don't hold it against anyone for getting excited and just being their authentic self out there, I think, but for me, so as a spectator, whatever they want to do to have fun within reason, that's fine with me.
Yeah, we think so. Within reason. And by the way, that shouldn't be NFL enforced. That should be coaches and teams and player enforced, I think, Barry. You probably have a much different relationship with the NFL than I do and probably feel a different way. Whenever they initiated the no celebration thing and refs were deciding what was too much and what wasn't, I just thought that was a bad decision. Barry, bad decision.
No, I agree with you. I think they've gone too far. If a guy makes a great play, I think you have to be careful how you punish him, right? How you punish him and punish his team, So I'm with you on that. I think they've gone too far with punishing these guys. Not just with that, but we don't even want to talk about roughing the passer and defenseless players and things like that. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh, the game's soft, Barry. Oh, the game is soft, Barry. No, but your name is used in that taunting penalty all the time. Like Barry Sanders, you are used in that entire thing. So to hear you say that, and I think it's because you're a former player and you've been in the locker room and you meet guys from all different backgrounds with different personalities. It's like, hey, some guys, that's how they get up. They lose their mind whenever good things happen. Why are you punishing the entire team? And if it's too much, the game will punish them. Other teams will punish them. Coaches will punish them. The game will. I don't think it has to be NFL enforced. That's just our opinions. But what does Barry fucking Sanders know? He said give the ball to Jonathan Taylor 35 times. I'm asking the same questions. Go ahead, Ty.
Barry, for people around my age who maybe only got to see you play, maybe the last year or so of your career, YouTube, I'll go on there and watch compilation highlights that are like 2 hours long. You just making guys look stupid on the football field. I'm just curious, do you ever go back and watch some of that stuff and just kind of think like, oh yeah, I was really fucking good? Like, do you ever do that or not really?
No, you know what? I see the replays whenever someone shows it to me. I don't often go onto YouTube and look at those things. I do have obviously a lot of great memories of it. And the game that I played in the '90s, as you know, it was a tough, physical, dangerous game. And so for a small guy like me to survive, I had to be creative and try to use a little magic and things like that. So I knew I was never going to be an Earl Campbell type runner. So I had to try to use some smoke and mirrors.
Hey, is that instinct? Is that instinct, film study, natural, you think, from all your years of just being a good runner and playing outside and just being able to detect where and setting people up leverage-wise so that you can get them off balance? Is that film? Is that work? Is it just something that you think? I think it's natural. I think a lot of it was natural. I think a lot of it was, going back to just me daydreaming as a kid about playing football. But also just the natural abilities that I have and just that burning passion at every level, man. Whether you're talking about little league or middle school or high school, I was just infatuated with football and with being a running back. And oftentimes coaches thought I was too small, but sometimes I played a lot on my teams, and sometimes I barely touched the field. But I love being on a football team. I always loved the position of running back. And when I got to high school and realized that I had a chance to, maybe had a chance to earn a scholarship to college, I was working harder than any other kid that I saw, in my immediate sphere. And I was always running or lifting or fantasizing about football. So I think, to answer your question, I think it's a combination of a lot of those things. But certainly, having the good natural abilities to go with just the kind of work ethic, to be able to allow me to achieve those things. Hey, best trait you can have, by the way, work ethic. I think that is honestly one of the best traits of all time. It is the silent X factor in basically every human that is successful. Not as much as Boomer Esiason, obviously, but it is a big one. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, Barry, when Dan Campbell was hired by the Detroit Lions, I don't know if they talked to you beforehand, if you're part of anything of their search for a new coach. What was your thoughts when they hired him? I know they're trying to get back on track. He seems to be the guy. Like, do you agree that he can definitely get him going in the right direction?
Well, I'm certainly hopeful for that. I was aware that they were looking at several candidates, and I knew that Coach Campbell was high on Chris Spielman's list. And so that's really as far as it goes. I mean, I didn't make any decisions or anything like that, but I did talk to Chris during the process and understood that he had, he was going to interview certain candidates. And so that was really how I first learned about Coach Campbell. But yeah, we know that he's coming from a winning culture. He knows what it looks like. And hopefully we'll give him everything he needs to be able to turn things around here.
Barry, there's a lot of coaching vacancies right now, a lot of people getting hired. Why do you think some coaches stink, dude? Why do you think some are really good, and why do you think some just stink?
I think, to be able to connect with people and with young men, I think it's a gift. I think everyone's not cut out for it. Maybe it's something you can learn over time. But yeah, it's not easy really to be able to take all those personalities and different positions and skill levels and all these things, and really bring it together to create a unit. And some guys have that. Some guys understand the science of bringing in. You look at how successful someone like Pete Carroll or Bill Belichick has been. It's not necessarily they've had greater resources. They just mastered the art of coaching. And some guys just really connect with people. And are willing to get a lot out of certain people. They're able to pull that thing out of you that maybe you didn't even know you had. And so I think a lot of great coaches are able to do that.
So the interesting thing there is you said Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick, who are from the outside, two polar opposite coaches. There's different ways to get success. It is not easy because they're not the guys, although they're in Madden. Every day, your 99 guy might show up at 60 as a personality or in a mood or whatever the case is, and that's at any position. You have to make sure that nothing gets off the railroad track. You got to keep everybody together. It's psychology, it's motivation, it's also knowing the game. I mean, it is a very tough gig, and a lot of people stink at it, and we get a chance every single offseason to see who's the next people trying. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Barry, you mentioned Derrick Henry coming back for the Titans. Since he's been out so long, as a running back, do you think it'll take him some time to get into the flow of the game? Or, next week in the divisional round, he'll just hit the ground running and run for 250 yards?
Which is what we're expecting.
Yes.
It's interesting because it obviously it depends on what he's been doing, and how much he's been able to really get back into somewhat of football condition. But I've always felt like, you give the right player a certain amount of rest, and you're going to be in trouble because he's going to have fresh legs. He hasn't been getting beat up every week. Whoever plays the Titans could be in for a real surprise. I'm not that Derrick Henry's going to surprise anyone, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, sometimes that can really work to your advantage. I believe. I wouldn't be too concerned about his injury, and I would think that he would come back better than ever and fresh. He's had a month vacation or whatever you want to call it.
He's gonna go for 300.
So yeah, I would tend to think he would be ready, really ready to go.
Can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to participate in the Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Squares sweepstakes. We appreciate you stopping by every single year to talk about this and everything else. You're awesome, man. I know people tell you all the time that you retired too early, you had a lot of game left in you, but people should also be telling you, you're great in media, man. I wish we get to see you talk a little bit more. You're awesome.
No, hey, Pat. Hey, thanks for having me. I hope you guys will consider signing up for the Rocket Mortgage Squares sweepstakes. But no, it's always good to talk to you, man, and continued success to you. And hopefully we can do it again soon.
Amen. I'm going to win, though, so that sucks for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to win. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Sanders. Thank you, Barry.
Yay!
What a legend.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to a break. What do we know? I don't know. Seems like a lot of our ideas match the Barry Sanders'.
That's good.
That's a good place to start.
Ipso facto.
AJ, you never played, obviously, against Barry Sanders, but he is referred to in every conversation, in coaching meetings. This guy's got a little Barry to him too. That's literally the standard almost. And he gave praise to those who came before him, but he is like the guy.
Yeah, Barry. Watching so I'm old enough to have seen Barry at times. They used to wear those old school throwbacks, solid blue jerseys and silver or gray, whatever they call it, pants, and then solid socks. Man, I think he would do his best work in those throwbacks.
Yeah, and not just the throwbacks, which are the games you probably saw on national TV more, which is probably your, what's that called when you, the guy from...
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect. That's probably the Mandela effect. You just remember him only making highlights in that particular jersey or whatever the case is. Him retiring early was massive.
Oh, yeah.
But listen to the passion he has for the game. And I don't want to say that I'm anywhere near, please, I don't know what to do. I had like 10 years left. And I think there were some people that were like, oh, he doesn't love the game or whatever. It's like, nah, I'm just done doing what I'm doing here for the game. I will still cover the game and talk about the game in other fashions. I think Barry was same way. Detroit lost that, though, not being able to keep him on the field.
Last time we won a playoff game was with Barry, literally 30 years ago.
Man, it's cool. Another 30 coming. All right, we're back in 4 with some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. MCDC, turn it around.
That's right.
1-833-4 McAfee. We'll see you in 4.
It really comes down to, and pardon my French, but giving less fucks. I think that it's a maturity that comes from aging, from making mistakes, from failing, from being too sensitive at times, from taking things too personal at times. And it's about growth and learning not to be indifferent, because I think indifferent people are terrified of making choices, and it's a cold place to live. It's about choosing what to care about, and the things that you do care about, it's less things. It's not trying to be a part of every conversation or get involved in everything or setting yourself up to be offended about certain things. It's caring more about specific things and less things, and with those things, it's finding ways to solve the problems, because true happiness doesn't come from eliminating all problems in your life. I believe it comes from solving the problems that you have and dealing with the pain and the suffering that is natural in life and is a part of life. It's not fleeing from pain and suffering and running from those things and not dealing with the emotional situations. It's looking at those head on and saying, how can I solve these problems and make my life a little bit better? And that's what I've tried to do the last couple of years, and I've talked about in the show as well. It's about perspective. And I truly believe this, when you focus on the things that you have more than the things that you don't have, you allow yourself to let gratitude sink in. And when the gratitude sinks in, it is always accompanied by joy, because you're focusing on the blessings that you have, not on the things that you don't have, the things you wish you had, the way you wish your life was that much better, you wish you had this, you wish you had that. You'll always be unsatisfied. But when you take solace in the fact that you're where you're supposed to be, and that life is going to come at you with pain and suffering and failure and frustrations and mistakes, and just trying to solve those problems and do a little bit better next time, it allows you to, I think, be a little gentler with yourself and admit that you're a human. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be a 500-pound elephant of possibly hatred and malice waiting for you, whatever decision you make, and that's just part of life. You got to deal with it and just try and be better the next time.
So you feel freer, it feels like, huh? You kind of feel free.
Yeah, there's a liberation that comes from caring less about the things that don't really matter in this life, I think. And I will say, if anything, and I know the two of you is the best on this show, and so I won't speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they're very similar. There's a lot of joy in being unapologetically yourself. And I think in life we respect people the most often who are that way, who don't try and change or be different or grow meek in situations that require courage, that go quiet in situations that require communication. And that's what I appreciated in both your friendships, is that you guys have always been yourselves. And Pat, I haven't known you as long as I've known AJ. I sat next to AJ for 9 years, and I have so much love for him and appreciation for the friend that he is. But I always admired and was inspired by the fact that AJ was always himself. And he believed that who he was exactly who he was supposed to be. And he didn't have to be different or put on a face for anybody. He was unabashedly himself. And I think there's a lot to be gained from doing it that way. And what I love about you and the boys is that's who you are. You guys show up every single day, not with an agenda, but with an open mind, and create conversations around important topics, and then you just be yourselves.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this beautiful Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. AJ, let's head to the phone, shall we, pal?
Yeah, 5-hour energy phone lines, right?
Oh, go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee. Get 10% off your order.
Yeah. Fruit punch, my favorite flavor.
That's not what you said last time.
Cherry. This, by the way, Haas is one right for a show.
I'm trying to go through all of them. Trying to get all the flavors out there.
Hey, that's good marketing. You should talk to Bloomberg, dude. Okay, let's go to
the mayor.
So you and me both, right there. You and me both. I guess there's an article or feature coming out about me on Bloomberg. They had reached out to the Colts, WWE, and everybody else, and they're like, have you heard from this person who's writing an article about you? What's going on? And I said, no. And then we went through the email. There was numerous emails from Bloomberg. I thought it was the dude, though. I just like you. I'm like, why is this guy fucking reaching out?
Yeah.
They have a massive business network, I guess. Massive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a billionaire.
Multiple times over.
Yeah, a couple times over.
What'd you say, Zito? Oh, yeah. So none of the names are showing up. Joe from Indiana on 3. What's going on, pal? How are you?
Maybe he sucked. I apologize.
How you doing?
Oh no.
Joe.
How you doing?
Joe.
What up?
Joe, how are you, pal?
How you doing, boss?
Hey, not too bad. How are
great,
you?
man. How
Hey,
you
Joe.
doing?
Joe, good. Joe, Paisan, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, the Colts kind of shit the bucket. We all know that.
Per usual.
So I listened to a couple of the interviews that they had put out, and I've been listening throughout the season. And when Frank Reich had thrown all those passes in the game, somebody had asked him after the game if he had ever thought about stepping down as the offensive coordinator, and he pretty much was like, "Fuck no." He's like, "You guys can suck my dick." And
whoa!
I thought it was interesting because when Wentz was asked in his postseason about the game flow and about the scheme, aka Frank Reich's calling, because we lost Sirianni to the Eagles, he never said in any of his response besides like, "Hey, I like the guys, I like the dudes," but he never said anything about liking the scheme. I hate the RPO. Wentz is not a fucking mobile quarterback. I don't know what wise tale was sold saying that, hey, this dude fucking chased down an elk and fucking killed him barehanded.
Let's see.
All right, Joe. Joe just want a little bit of a run. I think Joe's saying there's no accountability on the play calls by Frank Reich. It's always like why we did this, Carson missed this. Joe would like a little bit of more of a conversation on the strategic. Welcome to Clowntown. And then welcome to Clowntown. And then just bang! First, even if he gets 0 yards, we punt the ball. Our defense is good. Let's give up 3 or let's get a stop. That next, hey, guess what? That next drive. Have it a hair. Boom! 3 more of them. Bang, bang, bang. If we get 0 yards, cool. Let's punt it back and let's go ahead and let our defense give up 7, give up 3, whatever the case is. We're down 10-0. That ball comes back to us on the kickoff. Guess what Carson's doing? Maybe he's in shotgun this time.
Okay.
And then boom! Handing that thing off Jonathan Taylor. One of them is going to pop for 70. And everybody says, well, his yards per carry right now is 2.1 yards. It's 1.1 yards. Yards per throw is 7 yards. Hey, stats, folks. Does that stat tell you what's going to happen on the next run? No. Does that stat allude to the fact that the offensive line gets a chance to punch the defensive line in the face coming out as opposed to, oh, let's get Carson hot in the biggest game of the fucking year? Me and Barry are asking the same questions, and Joe seems to be on the same exact page as me. Although Joe didn't lay it out that way. He was talking about an elk getting hunted down by the Bobcat user Carson Wentz, but still, there's a lot of questions to be had, Joe, and you're 100% right. That should be one of them.
Well, first off, as Joe was talking about Carson Wentz and talking about RPOs, I was hoping you were going to illustrate what he looks like lumbering around the field. That's always a great visual, I think, for the people that watch on YouTube. But is it possible that the honeymoon is over between Frank Reich and Carson Wentz? They say they've had this super deep connection. Like, could this be? Could there be some issues behind the scenes?
I mean, I think a lot of Indiana's hoping for it. But also, I heard some people say Carson was in the offense for 1 year. What if you give him another offseason, another time learning the team and being in the building, and maybe, I'm not sure which side the tweets are coming from, but allegedly Deltacron, not really a thing.
Oh.
Omicron's doing it, so maybe by next season there isn't as many protocols. It's a different life. Let him kind of experience the team a little bit tighter. He's new, and there's a lot of that conversation happening. Not as much as get him out of here. There's a lot of that going on. But there is some people who have started being like, okay, we already went in the Carson Wentz train. There was some success. You can't just bail on him. But who knows how Jim Irsay's feeling? I mean, Jim, we heard Keith Cosrow earlier say, you hear Jim kind of set the table for what success in the expectation is around Indianapolis. And then obviously you get bounced out of Clowntown. That's probably not the expectation that Jim Irsay put out there.
Ooh.
Let's go to the phones.
Another year of Jonathan Taylor in that offense, too. Getting bigger and stronger and faster. So
yeah,
that might help, too.
Yeah, but if we don't.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's part of the thing that Frank's pissed about? It's like, okay, well, how do I just have to keep making fucking excuses for this guy for the rest of my career?
Who?
Like
Yeah.
about Carson.
Carson.
We know who this guy is.
dude.
We know who Carson is.
That's what it sounds like.
One
Didn't they
more
say to
year
bring
in
in
the
a vet?
offense, Carson isn't going to look like fucking Aaron Rodgers next year. It's just not going to happen.
Is this his first year in the offense? Because wasn't it the same offense in Philly?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That was Frank Reich's offense.
Was Jonathan Taylor in the backfield?
No, so it should be even easier.
No, because remember, Carson wasn't able to get into a rhythm because we were so run-centric. So as Carson doesn't play well with others in the backfield, he doesn't know how
Maybe
to
you
play.
should warm up more.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe you should throw more in warm-ups.
Oh.
I mean, the strength of your team's your O-line and your running back. It's not around.
Let's go to Houston on line 6. I mean, just hand the ball to the guy. Titans are going to do it in 2 weeks. Wait till you see what the Titans do. They had to change their offense. They had to win games differently when Derrick Henry was out. You know what the Titans are going to do? Mike Vrabel's going to say, that's him spitting out.
Flicking the cig.
And flicking a cig out
Yeah.
At the same time.
as he's going in. And on the way, by the way, he's probably punching someone in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to the thing, and he goes, let's see if they can stop this offensive line and Derrick Henry for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
They might get us for the first quarter. They might get us in the second quarter. Hell, they might get us in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, there's going to be a runaway train. Probably 2 to 3 times it's going to be on highlights forever. And that's just a different mentality of football. And I don't know. Maybe Frank Reich's allegiances to the quarterback position and to Carson Wentz is getting in the way of realizing that our strength is in 3 top 100 players. Jonathan Taylor, Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson. Let's just keep going. But here's an interesting stat. We have a lot of leader graphics that Dirty put together. Shout out Dirty. Dirty's made our show better this season. We appreciate him a lot for it. The rushing leader board. Now Derrick Henry's not on here because he was hurt. He was in the top 5 for a long time. 3 out of these 5 teams are not in the playoffs. So that's something to think about as well. You go with Jonathan Taylor, NFL's leading rusher, 1,811 yards, 18 tuds, not in the playoffs. Number 2, Nick Chubb for the Cleveland Browns. He only played 14 games, but he's got 1,259 yards, 8 tuds. They're not in the playoffs. Then you go to Dalvin Cook, who's number 5 overall, 1,159, 6 tuds. They're not in the playoffs. So it is an interesting debate that'll be had all offseason about the state of the game, the mentality of the game, the strategy of the game. And Derrick Henry not being on here anymore is definitely painting a narrative in which the game maybe can't go through the backfield.
Yeah, you don't have to run anymore, right? Isn't that all you're telling us right now? You don't have to run to be successful?
I'm not saying that. Okay?
I'm not either. But.
Because I am a guy that wanted this fucking guy to have the ball every single play. I wanted him to be at 4,000 yards. There's some people, they're saving his hits for later in his career. Okay, it's the NFL. Later in the career might not happen, especially if he walks down the street here in Indianapolis and one of these homeless bums attacks him from the side. But this guy should be in the playoffs, and I think they would have been if he would have been given the ball more. There's a couple different games. Tampa game they win, they're in. They were up 10 or 14, whatever it was. They get pass happy, they don't give him the ball. As Liev Shriver said, that's because Carson was hot. Okay, the Cleveland Browns, they went through it. Chubb was hurt, and even when he wasn't getting the ball either.
Nope.
So it's like the leading rushers, I almost feel as if they should get the ball more. But that stat, the way some people look at it, is like, no, actually, they should be getting the ball less. It's a very fascinating thing.
Well, and with the Titans, when they do have to throw, a lot of times they're running play action, and Tannehill's hitting guys like A.J. Brown, and you got Carson throwing 10 feet behind his receiver and throwing picks or throwing picks that should be picks that are dropped. It's just like, I just don't know why people are expecting that, next year Carson's going to all of a sudden be, I think the book's out on him. I think people know what you're getting from Carson Wentz. Still good, but I just,
He has a great energy.
Yeah.
He does.
Let's go to the phones. Oh, the old computer just crashed.
Oh, no.
No.
You don't say. Maybe it's because Carl.
Well, it does feel like we got hacked by the Bobcat people.
Carl.
Oh, let's go to Big M on line 2. What's going on, Big M? What do you want to talk about?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great, actually. I don't know your name. It said Big M, but that might have been Big Mike because it didn't fully upload. Big M, what's going on?
Oh, my bad. I want to talk about the Cardinals game this Monday, brother. I was asking, do you think we're going to we traveled well all week. All season, my bad.
What'd you say?
I was going to ask about the Cardinals game. You think Kyler Murray is going to travel well on Monday? He's going to have a good game on Monday?
Why'd they stink at home, you think, Big M?
Say again?
Why'd you think? Never mind, Big M. We appreciate you. I think the Cardinals will bode well. It's a playoff game. Matthew Stafford has been in quite a rut of interceptions after interception after interception. And that game will actually wrap up. We play. I forgot the melody. Forgot it. All right. Anyways, same game parlay holiday this weekend, AJ. It's a big deal. If you bet $50 across same game parlays on wildcard games, you get $20 back. The next tier, if you bet $100 on same game parlays, you get $50 back. The next tier, if you bet $200, you get $100 back. None of the money in between or over $200 or $100 back will be given. But it is the same game parlay holiday in which we need to get dancing in the same game parlay holiday game and take all the money from FanDuel.
To Big M's point, the Cardinals are 8-1 straight up and 8-1 against the spread on the road this season. 3-5 at home.
They just need to be on the road.
And they've already won at SoFi this year, beat the Rams in LA earlier in the year.
But McVay has Cliff Kingsbury
in the past.
You know what they say though, Ty?
Tough to beat a team twice.
What about 3 times?
That's all bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pat's Bills, they've both won once. So if it's tough to beat a team twice,
Play
they'll
better, you
probably
win.
tie and both advance to the next round.
Well, if they tie, I wonder who will it be, McDermott or Bill, that'll call the timeout with 38 seconds left and say, we ain't tying.
Yeah.
Like Brandon Staley.
Need a better run fit.
Staley said, we ain't tying, dude. Okay, we're playing football how we're supposed to play football, and he's getting attacked by real football people because the stats are telling him to do that.
Yeah.
But really, he said, don't do football like this.
Yeah, well, Bill didn't call a timeout, on the goal line against the Seahawks in the Super Bowl, so I doubt he's the one calling timeout with 38 seconds left.
Well, that's because they prepared for it, and they actually told old buddy he's got to jump that route because there's going to be a lot of confusion.
Boom. And since then, we've actually found out that Bill will look into his crystal ball and tell you exactly how the football game's going to play out and what they're going to try and do.
Have you seen that Man in the Arena? Is that normal? I'm not in the meetings in which a coach would lay out the entire fucking game, who's going to do what, but I guess Bill Belichick does that on a very regular basis. This is what they're going to do. This is what we're going to do. They're going to try this at some point. We're going to counteract it with this. And then in the fourth quarter, we're going to hit them with bum, bum, bum. And then after games, Bill's, it went exactly how we thought it was going to go. Great execution. See you tomorrow. Is that normal? That's not normal, right?
No, I don't. I think like the accuracy that Belichick has is what is not normal. Other coaches try to lay it out, try to tell you exactly how the game is going to go, or give you an overview. I just think Belichick seems to be predicting with the most accuracy compared to the rest of the coaches.
What a guy who's just debunking every theory in stat. Hashtag stat that.
Stat that.
So the stat that about Bill Belichick is check your stats because it don't matter. Stat that.
Stat that. Lombardi said the same thing, too. He echoed that sentiment about how he would basically just put the night before the game, talk to the coaches first, and then the day of, tell the team.
Yeah, and I don't know what Lombo wants me to say and what he doesn't want me to say, but he said you should hear what he said before that fake punt game against the Colts. I'm like, what if Bill's like, they're going to try something?
Just what?
They're going to try something. Just everybody look out. Okay, they're going to try something. That would be wild because we assume that sports books have an ability to look into the future. Mm-hmm. Like Matt Groening,
Sure.
he has the ability to look into the future.
Right.
And instead of getting into politics or anything else, he wrote a cartoon.
Yes. Yeah.
Bill Belichick can see the future. Instead of getting into politics or anything else, he's like, I'm just going to dominate the biggest league on
Coach
earth.
football.
I'm just going to coach football, yeah. It's a lot easier to coach, by the way, when you know exactly what the other team's going to do.
Yeah.
What's this thing? What's it show you? Can I go to Sunday at 4 o'clock, please?
Oh, we're going to win by 7? Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just do exactly what we thought.
So the Patriots going to win it all this year? Is that what Connor's saying?
Well, they had to take a year off and relax because it was getting too obvious.
Yeah, and also, if history tells us anything, when Saban loses the national championship, Bill Belichick wins the Super Bowl. So maybe.
Hashtag
stat that.
Let's go to Nick in Kansas City. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, how we doing?
Keep it moving.
Hey, so I got a question regarding the Beeflo situation.
Mm.
So it's known that Beeflo wanted Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson wanted Beeflo. So who's to say that old Easterby doesn't just fire David Coley, bring in Beeflo, keeps Deshaun Watson in Houston?
Would that burn the bridge between Beeflo and Deshaun Watson if he made a deal with Jack Easterby, who Deshaun Watson wants to be away from? There's layers to that. I mean, it's a good concept. And I don't know if everybody just assumes that wherever Beeflo goes, Deshaun Watson's going to be interested. Was it maybe the city of Miami, too, that could have been a little bit enticing for Deshaun? I guess TBD. He has a court case coming up in February.
It's like the week after the Super Bowl, right?
That's going to tell us a lot, I think, on who's going to be in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes.
Yeah, they've made it seem like if he does get exonerated or this basically just, goes away, that there will be upwards of like 10 to 15 teams that are very active in pursuing him.
And there's 7 new head coaches.
Yeah.
So let's assume there may be, hey, yeah, you were great here.
Everybody wants a quarterback.
Everybody needs a quarterback. Let's go to Big C from Kansas. Last call of the day here on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee to save 10% on your order. What do you got, pal?
Yo. So I wanted to talk about the Raiders. So the Raiders a few days ago.
I'm joking. Raiders didn't deserve that. I
What's
actually
up?
said the other day we're going to talk more about how good Derek Carr is.
did. Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry about that. I was going to hang up just as a joke, as a rib. But I'm not going to do that. You deserve your time here.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that also for the word of honesty right there. But what I wanted to say was it's kind of conflicting how we've been hearing that Mike Mayock may or may not be there next year, even though same thing with Rich Bisaccia. Because, look, Mayock didn't have any decision-making until Gruden resigned. And I know it's been mixed results, but the team's been on fire. So if they get rid of Rich Bisaccia and bring in Jim Harbaugh, that team could be humming. What do you guys think? Do you think Mike Mayock stays, or is he going to get booted? Same thing with Rich Bisaccia.
You nailed it. I mean, it's very interesting to think whether or not Jim Harbaugh is going to come in and have immediate success. I guess everybody just assumes because he was good 1 year as an NFL coach, he'll be able to be a head coach and be a great one again. Maybe. People love him, I guess. Players love him. He was doing sleepovers and shit for kickers in college. I assume he'd go all in with the Raiders. Maybe he's a fit. Maybe he isn't. Definitely something to keep an eye on because Derek Carr is a player.
Oh, yeah.
Mad Dog is next.
Nailed it.
That's good. That's cool. Let's go a little fadeaway there. That'll be the best What's up, dude?
We got Chuck at 305.
No, Chuck's traveling home from the mountains. He went skiing with Tina.
Oh man, he and Tina are very active.
They're living. They are living. I mean, he's driving from one side of the country to the other to meet up with all his paisanos and his family. He's skiing. He's golfing. He's doing the show.
So he's just catch up on 2 decades of
life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
Because he talked early with us that, whenever he was out for that 1 year, he was at home and Tina was like, okay, I have a life too. So, why don't you get the hell? So it feels like they're finding a good groove in retirement. Not a lot of people can, by the way. This is the same thing that happens to, people that work in military. I got a chance to see it. Like my dad was a truck driver, long haul truck driver and mover. So he'd be gone and then he would come back. And it's like my mom, hey, here's some shit that happens now. Like this isn't just like, hey, we got to do this whole transition of life thing, transition of life in patterns and style. It seems like Chuck's hitting a home run.
Yeah, he has it figured out, man. Especially after being in coaching for so long, he's able to step right into the real world and seem to be thriving. Like he's not just getting by. Like that dude seems to really be enjoying it.
I got a video from him of him and Tina skiing. And, him in the background talking about it. It's just like, what a guy, what a life. This dude is living, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy for him. We're all very happy for him. Pumped for him. Pumped for you guys, by the way. Because we're getting a chance to celebrate another holiday.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Same game parlay holidays this week.
Can't wait.
That's right.
Me, Ty, and Zito are ready to start it off and win.
You guys are going down.
No.
We all want to win. We all want to win.
Competitive edge.
What's that, AJ?
What game does Connor and them have?
First game, kicking off wild card weekend.
Yeah, Bengals Raiders.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys want to give us a little tease on what you're thinking?
Yeah, because we're.
Is there no competitive edge anymore?
No.
Well, no one else is doing the game, right?
No, but we don't want you to give it, and then the odds to change because it does have to be more than.
Well,
Let's
it's
just
funny you
say
say
there
that.
might be an anytime touchdown scorer in there. Just maybe. I don't know.
Oh, in the same game parlay for a football game?
That's right. Just maybe.
A touchdown scorer?
Just maybe.
Perhaps.
Don't give away too much.
Might have, I don't know, an alternate receiving line on there.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Hey,
Maybe.
Something to think about.
Zach Taylor said that he had, with a smile, he said he was excited for a little bit of the weather. Derek Carr is like 0 for 7 or something, 0 for 6, and anything below 30 degrees or 17 degrees,
Yeah.
or something like that. It's supposed to be chilly down there.
Something to think about.
I didn't know it was his first playoff game.
Derek?
Yeah.
Well, that year he was supposed to be MVP, and then he got hurt in Christmas Eve game.
Yeah. What was it? Tom Savage?
No, Connor Cook.
Oh, nice.
State guy.
Tom might have made an appearance too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
What year is this for Derek?
Actually, Tom was playing for Houston, I think. Maybe.
So he's already gone through one contract. This is next. It's got to be year 8, 9, I guess. 8, 7, 8.
Feels like a long time.
Long time.
Does. I mean, that's just a guess.
What's Gruden doing right now?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, it's like no one talks about him anymore. Like, what's that guy doing day to day?
I think he's pretty pumped about that. I think he's pretty pumped that nobody's talking about him anymore. I would assume him and his people.
This is year 8. He's 30 years old.
There it is, 7, 8.
Got it.
Good call on that.
Well, you just start putting together the contracts, right? And
Yeah.
how the contracts work. But I like him, man. I honestly do. And we don't give him enough credit, I guess, because it's the Raiders. And we had a little run-in with the Raiders fan base, which made me think, okay, well, fuck them. I just want to talk about them ever again. But they don't deserve that. We got a lot of Raiders fans that listen, I think. And they're a team that, just like we always say, win games they're not supposed to win. The Raiders squad wins games they're not supposed to win. Derek Carr makes plays. You're like, oh, shit, Derek Carr can make plays. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it always ends
Oh, they went 8-8 again.
terribly. Yeah, I don't
This is
understand. And they're in the Chiefs division, so it's hard to really talk about it.
And the Chargers. And, you know, this is like the first year it feels like they closed the season just as hot as they started it. Because, I mean, I think after Pittsburgh beat Buffalo, they went to Pittsburgh and beat them too early.
I mean, that guy, that Raiders fan didn't even know Bisacci's name.
No,
He pronounced it 3 different ways.
That guy. Have a little respect.
Have you been to that Vegas stadium?
Yeah, I was in it. I think
You were.
Where are you?
it was either
that was wrestling.
Yeah.
it was either Garth Brooks or us that opened that thing. You know.
How is it? Like, I want to see that and SoFi. I want to see both of them.
So when we were there, you know, my wife was there and she had a friend there. They tried to go eat food and everything, and it was just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
The logistics, the traffic getting in, terrible, as if it had never been thought out. Then the food, terrible, as if it had never been thought out. I assume it has hit its groove, and that's every big event space that kind of opens, especially in Vegas. It has to do that. But it was gorgeous. I mean, it was like inside of it, this is fucking beautiful, this place.
Well, it's right next to the best bar in the league, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's not
Close.
right next to it, but it's close.
Yeah. Best bar in the league's in Massachusetts, so it's a little far away, I'd say, AJ.
It is not time for hockey talk right now, because if we're going into it, you need to watch your purgative bullshit.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Wait, oh, you trying to use the word?
I'm not trying to. I just did.
What'd you say? Say it again real quick.
Purgative.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll stop.
Pejorative.
Yeah. Thank you. Enough with your pejorative shit. Pittsburgh Penguins, Geno Malkin's back hitting clap bombs 5-hole from the blue line, dude. We just got back a top 5 player.
Yeah.
Healthy all the way back. Yins are fucked. Scored 100 goals last night. Pittsburgh Penguins, 1 a.m. Nick, what was the final score of that thing? 101 to what?
4-1.
A lot of goals.
That
dude.
might as well be
Please.
101.
Yes.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right? The Bruins scored 7 on Monday night against a team that's ahead of you in the division. So
Excuse me, you're behind us in every single ranking, and we have Sidney Crosby jumping over pucks for Geno Malkin to fucking score. Jumping on the
Yeah, I
ice.
saw it.
Olympics is coming up.
Yeah.
If Sidney wanted to, he could go win a goddamn gold with a triple.
Yeah.
LA thing.
Salchow.
Yeah, exactly, dude. No
you're ahead of
problem.
us in the standing. Well, let's remember, we're both wild card teams right now. Okay, we're in the dance, unlike the stupid Knights, but
We're actually leading our division.
Yeah,
Watch
right.
some fucking hockey.
that's not true.
You don't even know hockey, dude.
I know our division, and that's it. I'm
You don't
sorry,
know
I don't know
hockey.
shit
We all know
about
hockey
theirs.
more than you.
Western Conference bullshit. We're
Western
right
Conference
next to
isn't
you.
real hockey, by the way. You
No,
guys
no,
are
it
bummed.
is too.
Why don't you guys just go play in the Canadian division? Because that's what Canada wants anyways. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Excuse me. We're talking about
Hey,
actual
listen, I don't want to
championships
rain
over
on
here.
your parade, but a lot of people are saying, hey, Gino's got cement in his skates right now.
I'll tell you, he's got cement in his skates. Fucking Stoner blew it in overtime.
Hey,
cost me a damn good parlay.
He sucks! Stoner might have cement in his skates right now, but guess what? Jockey Aces is taking one-timers on the ice, and it's only a matter of time before he gets back in the toughest barn in the league.
Talk to me when he puts
And
the
lights
jersey on.
the fucking lamp!
You wish. No. Dude, he's taking slappers and clap bombs and wristers in practice. AJ got to do that on the ice one time.
Yeah.
Gino's back out there with fucking clap bomb city from the blue line cuz first came back. He doesn't speak any English, okay, but he fucking wins hockey games. And that son of a bitch will fight you too. That's why whenever I look at fucking Pasta and the boys that should be getting traded down to Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
if they want to be
right.
a part of a real organization. I don't know if they fit in. They're not tough enough. Just like old
No,
Jockey Aces.
no,
Shooting pucks in practice.
No.
Oh, he's not tough enough to be a
Spinal fusion surgery.
We don't care. Sydney's got 4 of those. Hey, you back there, Red Wings, not tough enough to be in the Penguins organization.
Toughest team in the league.
Toughest team in the league is because you lose all the
They
time.
won the
Mental
most
toughness.
points in the NHL.
Not
Stat
true.
that.
And
That's
fuck,
not true.
Fuck off, Dallas
Yeah,
Stars.
we took the Penguins out back on Saturday.
It's not true. They did beat us, though. Dallas ain't a hockey town. Nobody in Dallas even gives a fuck. You're the only fan of that
Nah,
team.
it's Texas hockey, baby.
Mike Madonna, come on now.
Hey, Madonna ain't walking through those fucking doors, pal.
Yeah, you're goddamn right.
He's a duck.
Neither is Basil McRae.
Or RJ
Good news.
Umberger for
Hey.
the Blue Jackets, dudes. You guys are dead.
Well, hey, good news is you got 9 months left of the season, so we got plenty of time.
9 months. You should know that hockey gets hot around February, right around
Yeah, it
February
does.
20th.
And then they play for another 5 months if you want to win it all.
We'll listen to more hockey talk tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/That's Hockey Talk.
Good plug.
Can't wait.
Do we have any cool guests tonight? Or
Brady Shea from the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh, wow.
Come on. Hot team down in
Wow.
Carolina.
Guy's a player. Did he ever play for the Pens?
No, he used to play for the Rangers.
Who cares?
But
Tell that guy to get the fuck off the show.
I'm gonna tease an upcoming guest that Rupper
Shut
sent
up.
down the pipeline. Potentially John Hamm.
No way.
Ooh.
Big Dick Ham?
Don Draper himself.
What?
Ham Conda.
Ham Conda?
I will say it is true. Hollywood does say he has the biggest penis.
I thought this was a hockey show.
Stat that, dude. We're talking
Stat
about sticks
that.
all of a sudden.
Oh, he's a big hockey
Listen, if
stick.
you,
thought he was gonna
St.
say
Louis
Mountain.
Blues
if
fan.
you can't talk about hog size in the locker room, and that's not hockey talk.
Just real quick. Has John Hamm ever played for the Penguins?
No, he is a large St. Louis Blues fan.
Off the show. What are we letting all these people on the show?
Don't want to interrupt the Pens while they're in this hot streak. Let the boys play.
Hot streak. You just lost to the Stars on Saturday.
What's Sidney
pal,
coming on?
Gino's back.
We'll
Fuck
get
off,
Joe
dude.
Mullen on then or somebody.
Slippery Rock Joe, I'd love to.
How about fucking Tommy Barrasso? Hey?
He doesn't talk to the
Okay.
media. He fucking hates the media.
Well, maybe you guys need
He'd
to
probably
say-
call you an asshole.
Whoa!
Tommy Barrasso called me an asshole.
He
That's
probably
why I
would.
like him, because he's tough. That's the guy that we need. That's the type of team we have in Pittsburgh. Now, who's the dude, the Canadian guy, Elliot?
Friedman.
He was good.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the beginning of the
Yeah.
interview, I asked in the comment section, is this guy who played for the Pens? They said, no, he's the Schefter of hockey in Canada. I said, well, I fucking hate him. Get him off of this thing. By the end of it, I appreciated him. I thought he had a very good, kind of charisma and moxie. And
Yeah.
a great interview. So I do like him. Now, with that being said, who gives a fuck? He never played for the Pens. So it doesn't really matter. This guy tonight, I assume your first question and your last question is going to be, how hard are you trying to get to the Pittsburgh Penguins? Is that what you're going to ask him or no?
Well, I was just thinking we did have a guy on who played for the Pens, and you weren't really all that interested in it.
Stop commenting then, please. Let's turn this up a little bit.
What's Ulf Samuelsson doing?
Fucking making bobbleheads,
He
dude.
might be back in Sweden. We should try and get him on now.
Yeah.
We're not getting Yogs on.
Yeah, Yogs is a bum.
What about Darius Kasparaitis?
Oh, Ronnie Francis? Can we get Ronnie Francis
He's
on?
the GM in Seattle. I'd love to have him on.
Nah, fuck him.
Why can't Maui come on? I thought Gino and Rupper were best pals.
He
Just
doesn't
came
speak
back,
English,
dude.
dude. I mean, what do we...
Just have him come on and say another day at the office, and then just tell him to leave.
That would be good.
Yeah.
AJ, you ever watch that Hockey Talk? It is legit a good time. Like,
I've seen little. I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing.
No,
but
he's
I've
a
seen
scumbag.
good chunks of it.
The comment section's so much fun.
yeah, we're in there.
Oh, yeah.
Until you get fucking banned.
Well, that's when you say amateur AHL bullshit bush league stuff.
Right to the
Can't
sin
have
bin.
it.
Say the dumbest thing in there.
Who banned you?
Pat.
Anyone with a blue wrench.
The hockey gods. The hockey
Who
gods.
runs that? Well, who has the power to ban people?
The hockey gods.
Pat.
The hockey gods.
Hockey gods. Pat's like a bad ref in there and throws you in the penalty
Whoa!
box.
Hey, I had to get one on you early.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Listen, I understand hockey officiating. I got to control the flow of the game in there.
Set the tone.
I don't need you coming in. Oh, Red Wings, we kill octopi. And we don't need that.
Yeah, greatest tradition in sports. You have no respect for it on that show.
I don't know how that building hasn't been ransacked by PETA yet. Honestly.
Yeah, no kidding.
The more and more we learn about these aliens that are octopi, you guys are just bashing their brains in. And
It's
then
been so long since they've been in the playoffs. PETA hasn't cared to look into it.
They had a 30 pounder on the ice at one point.
that thing.
How do you carry it in?
You got to sneak it in.
Put it up your.
Well, the
Oh,
thing,
do you have to sneak it in, really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
and I wish that octopi would have came
How do you
back
sneak
to
a 30
life.
pound
Put
octopus
it on your
in?
jacket,
They,
dude.
they put it in a pants jacket. This is
Tape it to
before.
their
It's
stomach.
30
It's
pounds.
Detroit,
I mean,
AJ.
it's John Hamm style. Like, how do you put that in your pants? For real.
It all comes back to John Hamm.
Once again, are they comparing John Hamm to the rest of the 5'2" Hollywood? Or?
John Hamm ain't
no.
5'2".
Well, that's what I'm saying, though.
Well, hey, I think when you have a 13-inch penis with the girth of a Coke can, you kind of just, you're like, hey, wow, this guy's got a hammer, Hollywood or not.
And he was Don Draper.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you want to see a still shot of Don Draper wearing slacks and see where the fucking tip of his penis hits? Rub it against his kneecap.
I think that's why he's not married.
He's on Hockey Talk coming up here.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear all of that broken down and chatted about. He was also in Tag, right? That guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was in tag.
In the
What is that?
ton.
He's in the town.
I didn't know
Is
he's
that a movie? Is Tag a movie?
Tag. They spent a lot of money on this
So
concept
good.
that I would have never expected to like. Actually liked it.
Good man.
Ed Helms.
Yeah.
Who came on the show to promote it?
Jake Johnson,
Yeah.
From New Girl.
the guy who's the dope head in it. The dope head who won't grow up in it.
Yeah.
He came on to promote the show. That's probably the right guy to come on the show to promote it.
He's a funny guy.
He was funny, wasn't he? And
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's no rap sheet, but
He's
he's
a
a funny guy.
Iowa alum, you know.
Chicago guy.
Iowa alum, Chicago guy. Hey, you should have seen he eats a Permanis. I mean, are we just all going to claim him? I mean, what?
Well, I will. I mean, Chicago guy.
Well, Chicago and Iowa have a lot in
Oh, yeah,
common.
a lot of kids from Chicago.
No,
and
you
area
stop that
go to
right now.
Iowa.
No,
You
no.
stop that.
We're talking
He's
about
that's an Iowa guy.
that serial killer.
No, that's an Iowa
Who
guy.
slaughtered
Oh.
a bunch of people.
Oh,
yeah.
Casey.
JWG.
They were
Yeah.
buried in the basement, yeah.
Yeah, that was in Iowa.
Nope.
In Iowa,
Nope.
yes.
Never found any dead bodies in Iowa.
Well,
Just
that was when he was young in
a
his
couple
prime.
delicious chicken littles that he did leave behind for the new homeowners because he was the JC's Man of the Year in I think like 1969 because he
Man of the Year.
revolutionized the
Keyword.
KFC on Campbell Avenue.
That's
If you haven't seen the documentary, a man turned into a monster in Waterloo, Iowa.
no, did it in Illinois.
No.
And then
Waterloo,
went back to
He was a
Illinois.
clown.
Chicago guy.
He was a clown, a kid's clown, and he just buried bodies in his basement.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. A lot of
Got
them.
all those tendencies from Waterloo.
Did that not smell?
Yeah, that was a part of it. I
Oh,
guess.
it did.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
part of the whole thing.
A lot
But
of
he,
Febreze.
he was Man of the Year in Waterloo, Iowa, where Ty is from.
1969.
They said he would never flush his toilet, so it's like poop. The smell of poop would cover all the bodies.
Stop
What?
it.
Hey, what was his end game?
I think
Killing.
he just.
I'm gonna kill
Just
as many
kill
fucking
people.
people as I can
Yeah.
I think he
And
enjoyed
just
it.
call it.
I think he
and
enjoyed
keep eating 6 pieces of original recipe.
Yeah.
Finger licking good.
Did he really have something to do with the KFC?
Yes.
Yeah,
he
he
ran
ran the
it,
best
and
KFC.
he got Waterloo's Man of the. That's
I've
where
seen
Ty-
the documentary. Did they
Employee
talk
of the
about it in
year.
that?
Yes.
No, because it's a footnote that has got blown out of
no.
proportion.
Why is it
It's a
blown out of
Because he
proportion?
turned into a maniac in Illinois, and you're trying to say that Waterloo birthed him. No, they didn't. He came in, he franchised several KFC locations, and, had a couple great ideas as well along the way to maybe get a few new sandwiches on the menu. And then after that, he moved to Illinois, and he was like, Jesus Christ, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to start killing my neighbors.
So that is potentially your version of how the thing was going. The way I read it was he went to Waterloo, didn't get caught, was doing it there, had to get out, and went to Illinois.
And Illinois caught
Even
him.
one Man of the Year there was going to plan on doing the same thing in Illinois. Did when I go to Ty's wedding up in Massachusetts,
Newport. Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. When I go up there, his dad. It's my first time meeting his dad, and I'm, I've employed his son here, and he knows a lot about me. I don't know a lot about him. One of the first things he said was, "You got to stop with that Gacy Waterloo thing." I started dying. I literally started dying. Like, he is a hysterical human being.
Sounds like a stain on both your records.
Yeah, truly.
No, we caught him.
Nah.
Wasn't OJ born there too?
I don't claim him.
How about Barry Sanders? Talking on the field, on the field. Of course.
That was awesome.
Hey, Barry is always good on the show. Honestly,
He's great.
He's always good on the show. I think he swallowed a couple yawns while he was talking.
I'm guessing he's been
sitting up there,
pounding the pavement for the Super Bowl squares this morning.
It's 7:30.
Are you gonna?
He's
enter?
good at that though.
He is. He knew all the ins and outs.
Oh, yeah.
Every year he comes on, he crushes it. Are we entering that? And did we enter that last year?
We did last year.
Did we win?
No.
This year though.
This is the year.
No, we don't. By the way, we hope we win. We want others to win.
True.
No.
I'd like to win.
What we do want, well, I agree. We would like to win, but if we don't, because it seems like it might be a little difficult, a lot of money on the line, probably going to be. We would like to dominate the same game parlay.
Oh yeah.
We're doing
without
that
question.
first.
Let's make sure we keep our eyes
On the press.
As a team.
as a team.
Are we
And
all agreed on that?
You can bet alongside all of us, and you'll get money back.
Boom.
Whether we win or we lose, but we're planning on winning
Hell yeah.
Together.
together. Everybody's planning on winning.
Is Tony on this page too?
Well, no. I mean, I'm looking at a very selfish face over there underneath that cowboy
what I'm
hat
saying.
because he knows that Hammer Dahn is going to get called into question if they're the only ones that don't win, and that's what he is worried about. What, Gump?
We got it under control, my friend.
Don't do that.
For all of us? For all of us?
Hell yeah.
Don't do that.
What?
What?
Don't do this, Tony.
What?
What? Ascension? What?
Spot? You guys have been fighting for years.
Wow.
We operate best under dissension.
What?
It's true. Chaos can bring people together. And did we run the Hammer Dahn commercial today yet?
It wasn't finished in time.
So we got a new commercial.
Yeah.
I think it should be stated that this Hammer Dahn crew has been on a heater for a year straight. A year straight. I'm like, how come we don't have any clips of like you guys winning? So every day we're going to start posting their winners. And just because, once again, as somebody who does not bet along every single bet that they make, it is hard to believe somebody when they say, oh yeah, they won 3-1, 4-2, and then they won 2-2, kind of even there. It was like, well, that's as a show that is up for a year straight. Foxy and I, Foxy kind of trickled it into my mind about these dudes are probably just full of shit. They're not actually winning. Is anybody fact checking that? And then we started looking into it. They are.
They do win.
So now we need to make sure people know that we ain't bullshit. And although that cowboy over there does say some things that are alarming, and there's some things that come out of that mouth that we go, whoa, why did that happen? And that Canadian sensation back there has a list of people he hates. Those two, when their brains get put together and they go scouring through FanDuel Sportsbook, they have somehow found winners. And I think we should let everybody know about it, that you're potentially missing out on a goddamn ATM, but it's not your money you're taking out, it's FanDuel's money.
That's right.
But with that being said, if we go 3-1 and you guys are the one, that's tough. That's a tough same game parlay holiday season.
I've heard a few things mentioned in here. I don't think we're gonna be the only ones.
Whoa, who's the other one?
That's what you're asking. Is Tony on the same page because of what he just did right there? He exposed himself, but he knows it doesn't matter. Hey, whatever your intentions are, some people are in the NFL strictly for money.
That's right.
Okay, well, good performance brings you good money. Sure. Some people are in it because love of the game. Okay, you love the game, you give your all for it. We don't care what your motive is, Tone, and clearly it's money and success for yourself and for the show. As long as we have it, that's all that matters, AJ. We just want success for all 4 bets. Ain't that right?
My gambling.
Yeah, but hey, a quick question for Diggs. Whenever you're meeting an Italian, do you always use your full name and make sure you enunciate your last name?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Because I heard you whisper in my ear, oh, no, I forgot to say my last name. And then he met old Jimmy, and he throws out his full name, and it took him like 5 seconds to say it.
Anthony Giovanni Agostino DiGiulio.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Something that I've done in my adult life that I realize other adults do in the professional world. When they introduce themselves, they say their first and last name instead of just their first name, and I sometimes forget to say the last name.
Hey, 10 Diggs. Shit. It's Anthony DiGiulio.
I always introduce myself as Anthony.
And I, obviously, to Paisan we were referring to here, Patrick Giuseppe Giovanni McAfee.
Nice. Yeah.
So, how about, hey, that conversation, that entire room lit up once we started talking Italian. Yeah. Didn't it?
That's the culture.
You're right.
It did. How's the gabagool, huh?
Isn't that don't they call that cultural appropriation, what you're doing?
Whoa. Oh, come on.
Yes.
No, because
what you're
like,
doing? That's what old Jimmy Pitaro said.
Like if you guys started talking, hey, but I'm Irish. Oh, potato famine sucked.
Yeah,
Well,
it
that's too
did.
far, dude.
Well, what are you saying?
We're not bringing up. Yeah, we're not bringing up the
They
worst.
say
parts
there's
of-
nothing to like brighten up the room about.
How about this? Boppity boopity. Hey! Hasta
AJ.
Bartolena!
I hope you're
Hasta
happy.
Fazzoli!
Mario!
Hey, Luigi! That's what I do.
Listen, you want
Because
you,
I'm
you
Italian.
doing it is one thing. This asshole in the back fucking jumping in.
What are you talking about?
I will say, Jimmy Galante.
I was kissed in. What are you
Jimmy
talking
Galante
about?
did ask, is he Italian?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's Cuban.
What do you say after that?
He's Italian to me.
Hell yeah.
He's Italian to me.
Suck it, Tony.
Oh. Now that's
Wish I
just
could
one
call
Italian
him.
family.
I'll
That's
keep my
one.
mouth shut.
A popular family.
Yeah, smart.
Say something, Tony.
Hey, fire that thing. Do a knuckle puck.
Well, I was thinking about it, but my it's not hockey season yet, so my accuracy isn't all the way there.
About a month away.
Work on it.
Hey, there's a hockey tourney that Nick's playing in, I think. In
Yes.
Halifax.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think I'm playing, but there is. A,
Come on! You got to!
I said I would play if Pat played.
Oh, okay.
Is it street hockey?
I don't have time. What's that?
Is it the street hockey, like where I wear shoes?
Yeah, it's ball hockey.
Oh, get AJ.
You want to play?
I've never played. Is there any
that's a big
any
gap.
tournaments where I can wear my
Played.
blades again?
We don't.
Guy doesn't have knees.
We don't play rollerblade.
Can you
hockey.
hold a stick?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
To duct tape a stick to his hands and put his knees together with bubble gum. What are we gonna do?
Make him hit people.
Hey, I'll still score a few goals.
Yeah, but line change, dude. We're in and out.
exactly.
30 seconds. 30
Quick
seconds.
shifts.
Just keep him in and out there. He's good enforcer, too. Put him next to Haddlebags.
Oh, the Bass Bros.
There we go.
God, yeah, dude. That'd be great. Call them the Bang Bros, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Because they're going to be banging people.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's
Don't
get
get on
out
the
of here.
bus.
Get one of these, dude. You guys are trying to get one of these, right?
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
I knew you fucking rented yours, dude. I knew it. Fugazi champ.
I rented it. I did.
Wow.
Rent centers got these, dude?
Typical.
Rent a center. Don't they have like Played Against Sports?
Hey, what a hustle that place was.
That place is great.
Yeah, but what a hustle when they would go to buy your shit. I mean, hey, well, fuck you. They're like Rick from Pawn Stores. It's like that Plato's Closet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a nice jeans you bought for however much. We got $6 for you, $2 maybe, $3. They're gonna sit on a shelf. Look at that size. Ugh,
The
$1.50.
Hulkster was a big Rent-A-Center guy.
Was he? Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, he endorsed it.
Come get this 55-inch tube TV for Super Bowl weekend, brawler. I remember a commercial.
Yeah. I thought he was in the room.
Well, the Hulkster
Is this real? I don't know if this is real.
Oh, yeah.
He's been trending the last couple of days.
Yeah, he's going through it right now.
Wait, what happened? What's he doing now?
Well, the brother.
People are getting the jab and dying, brawler. I ain't fucking getting it, brawler.
Oh, really?
Hulk Hogan dipped his toes into the immunized waters.
Big time.
And it took over. So, Bret Hart, best there is, best there was, and best there ever will be in wrestling, you know. He does interviews every once in a while, and he just buries everybody. And it's very interesting because of how small the world is in wrestling. I feel like, you know, everybody hears everything that is said because there's only a certain amount of people. I mean, it is, especially now that I'm in there. But he said that, you know, Hulk Hogan didn't know the difference between a headlamp and a headlock, but whatever. So on SmackDown, I said, "Oh, slides in with a headlamp." Shout out to Hulk Hogan, and then I had a bunch of people going, "Don't be, you're not on Hulk Hogan's side." I got people were about to turn on me. People were about to turn on me. I'm like, whoa. This was a reference to Bret Hart burying Hulk Hogan there. I apologize, but Hulk Hogan does not have a lot of fans right now. I do not.
No.
I do not believe.
Wait, are you not allowed to be a Hulk Hogan fan right now because of how he views COVID or because of him as a wrestler?
Well, because the things he says, I believe. You know, things that come out of his mouth shouldn't be said.
Brother.
By Caucasians in some cases.
Oh, yeah.
Things like that.
What a weird situation he had with that whole filming and all that.
Yeah, John Hamm. He, what do you get, $70 million from that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
The people
There's a great
versus
documentary
Terry
on that you
Bollea.
need to watch.
He killed Deadspin.
Gawker, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was being funded.
He was.
Really good documentary. Really good documentary on. He was no one can sit there, and he was being funded by Peter Thiel, a billionaire, for the whole trial, and they didn't know it the whole time. Gawker and all them had no idea, I guess, but he was being backed because it cost so much damn money to do that.
And did he get to keep all the money, or did the Teal guy take some of it? Is it like whenever, for instance, I've paid for a couple, almost maybe. I don't remember if we fully went through it. I had a friend who was going to go play in the World Series of Poker. It's like 10 grand. I give you the 10 grand and playing it. There's a percentage that you pay out if you go and win or whatever to the person that funded you in there. Is that what Hulk Hogan had to do? He had to split this thing up with old Teal out there?
I don't know if he was staked. AJ might know, but I just know. I think Teal just wanted Gawker dead because of some things they said about him.
Staked is a great way to describe
They
it.
they outed him back in the day, and he was pissed.
Huh.
That's at least what the documentary says.
So he said, "We got him, brother."
Yeah, it was. I mean, it is in they stuck to it. I think you would enjoy the documentary. There's a lot of layers to that whole situation.
I remember we were with Barstool at the time, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, Dave had his issues with Deadspin as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe, I don't want to say I was great because Dave's brain is so good, but it would be cool you bought Deadspin, because they, that's like when Vince McMahon bought WCW, like that entire thing. And I thought that was going to happen for a bit. They were up for like auction and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
What a promo Dave would have cut. Oh my God. That would have been interesting. That would have been amazing. But it didn't happen because I think the auction went on without anybody really hearing about it somehow.
Why would you want to buy Deadspin?
Just strictly so you could cut a promo afterwards.
Burn it down.
Yeah, it's like front office
Wait,
sports.
is it still a thing?
Somebody wrote something about us and Aaron on Deadspin the other day. So I guess it is still a thing. They were coming after us a little bit, but it's like that's Deadspin.
It's
okay.
Doesn't carry you.
That's what Deadspin does. But I think you do it strictly for that promo.
Yeah.
Like I said, front office sports still in the crosshairs. What was the guy's name? McCarthy.
Michael McCarthy.
Not Big Mike.
Not the coach.
Not Big Mike.
No.
Definitely not.
By the way, Michael McCarthy, front office sports, probably a good guy.
Well, shoot that puck, man.
No, I was literally searching here for the last 10, 15 minutes as the show has gone on, and we should have ended a long time ago for something I could shoot this at and have confidence in. I don't got any confidence. Clap bomb's a little bit off right now.
Okay. I respect you showing vulnerability and admitting that.
I show vulnerability every day, dude. I ain't no perfect creature.
Well said.
That's a great picture.
Can you get that over there?
Go a little bit farther.
Swing it a bit, Foxy.
Oh, there we go. I mean, now no.
It's hidden behind Tony's desk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to put it against
Here,
the.
you want to move the chair?
Let's get
Put
Tony
on
to
the chair.
hold it.
Oh my God! Look at that desk.
Look at what desk?
From this angle,
Dude, the desk was asked about in the Bloomberg.
I mean, that angers me.
Well, I actually told him that.
I still don't got
You
it.
want me to move the chair to the middle and then just put it on the chair?
Oh, you should lay it on the.
Hold on,
the-
give me that phone. I think
table
you got it. I think you got the corner of it. Don't you over there on the right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, here we go.
You go Bardonsky.
Put it right between AJ's fucking eyes.
AJ, you run your mouth, huh? You got a little title?
Yeah, man, let's see it. There's no way you can hit me.
I mean, who knows, actually. Diggs might want to put your...
Good luck, Tony. Diggs, lean your head down there.
Close your laptop, Tony.
Tony is bending over.
Right now. That'd be better for... Fuck it.
He's dead. Dead center. If you flip it.
Oh! Dude.
Wow.
That's hockey talk, bro.
Owned.
How's your spleen, dude?
Wow. Fucking gone. I need to put that up here. That's...
Yeah.
I mean, that's dead center.
I thought you were aiming for my head.
What do you want to give you a concussion?
No, body shots, dude.
Yeah. Going inside of the zero. No big deal.
Hey, see, I told you, man. You didn't need to. You should have a lot of confidence. That's not John Hamm coming through there.
Come out your belly button.
Dude. All right, put this comment. All right.
Is that a known thing that John Hamm just has a hog on him?
I did not know until today when
That
we
is
just
a known
described
thing.
Yeah,
his.
it's a known.
Yes.
I watched that show he did. That was a great show.
Which one?
The one that made him famous, I feel like.
Mad Men?
Tag?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
watched it a couple years ago.
Was it
Never
good?
seen it.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. John Hamm's awesome. He's a great actor.
Yes, massive dick.
That's when Tony was doing his suits and old fashions, right?
Smoking a bunch of cigarettes.
And there's a bunch of speakeasies popping up around places because of how popular Mad Men was. I go back to Pittsburgh. Oh, we got this new place. They got newspapers covering the windows and shit. I'm like, where are we? Mad Men, dude. Get away.
Who has a hookup to him?
Mean old fashioned.
I don't know. I have no idea who it's on.
Rupper.
Probably
right?
Rupper, dude.
Rupper knows everybody.
Rupper's the best.
Oh, he's awesome. I love seeing Rupper stuff. So he's on NHL Network, correct?
Never watch Hockey Talk. Though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he never watched Hockey Talk. Can't find. He's on NHL Network.
get
I
enough
know he's on
stuff.
there. I'm saying other than that.
You think Rupper hits it that square?
No.
Not a chance.
I really don't.
I mean, golly, dude.
I was a snipe.
I think you deserve your trashes jersey today.
It's a heck of a shot, man.
I did earn my jersey, didn't I?
Did you throw that thing on?
Is any of that stuff going to make it to the igloo?
Oh, yeah. Come on, dude.
Pick it up with a helicopter and take it over.
Like Rick Ross did with his house.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it is
Look at
an
that
honor.
Wow.
After sending a clap bomb. Through this dude's fucking chest, dude. It's an honor to be a trasher.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
Can't wait to see what we do tomorrow. Hockey Talks tonight at 8. I might be by. You know, now I'm legitimized.
Yeah, you are.
Clap bombs through chest, dude. No big deal.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations.
You did it, man.
What a day. Let's hang this thing up.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put this thing
Right in the rafters.
Hang this thing up into the rafters, dude. All right, let's do it. All right. We did it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, Pat.
Congrats.
Great
Good
career.
Thank you so much. It was awesome. It was it was fun, wasn't it?
It's a good career.
It was a good career. One clap bomb,
1 for 1.
one fatality. We'll
No,
see.
that would never have killed me.
Hey, take a screenshot of this and hashtag PMS Same Game Parlay Holiday. Let us know what movies. Hold on, I gotta make sure that hole is visible.
You can't see it. You got to turn it around.
Oh, you can see it.
Oh, you can see it.
There you go. Stick your little finger through there.
Stick your little finger through that, your fucking weird claw.
Weird claw.
All right, dude. I don't know how.
Oh, that hurts my feelings.
You can
say
see
that.
it.
Take a screenshot of this.
Actually, go put the mic, stick the mic through the back through the hole. No. Coming from the back so you don't see the mic. It doesn't work that way.
Puck's smaller than this. I just said.
Yeah. Way smaller.
Anyways, take a screenshot of this. Use hashtag PMS Same Game Parlay Holiday. Let us know what movies we should watch going into the weekend, a celebration where we all hit and you hit as well.
Oh, come on.
You see, mine took like 4 seconds to get on my shoulder. It's so heavy.
It's lighter.
Yours is fake. Don't pat it.
A lot of good photos here.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, great work. We'll give away a couple $1,000.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Couple $1,000 winner, maybe $5,000 winners. Hashtag PMS Same Game Parlay Holiday. Go ahead, tweet that. That's Hockey Talk tonight, 8 p.m. Tomorrow, massive show.
Huge.
Coach Chuck Pagano will be on. As many people coming on to chat about good stuff as possible are welcomed.
Hell yeah.
Because we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the NFL season. There's a lot of reflection that we'll do. There's a lot of projecting we will do, but we will always live right here in the moment because we are the universe.
Boom.
Well said.
Who said that? Mark Manson.
Boom.
Yes.
Sun Tzu.
He knows.
All right, we're back. See you. Hammer Down's in 15 minutes. You all are the best. Bye.